Hail, adventurers, and welcome to the 119th episode of Dirty 20, an evening of laughter, drama, and adventure. We call it D&D Podcast. This is your Dungeon Master for the evening, and I am joined by my colourful cast of characters. So, today, we actually do have everyone, though it may not look like it. So, Jay is currently on holiday, but
Hi.
he is joining us today, audio only. And Sam will join us in a little bit. So hopefully we'll have everyone here at some point today. But before we begin the game, as usual, we'll do our regular round of shout-outs. So, as always, Mitch, would you like to take it away with Monday nights?
Oh yeah. Mondays, 7 p.m. GMT/BST. Twitch.tv/Natural Wonders. We play Star Wars Edge of the Empire. It's a great system. It's really good fun. If you like sci-fi Star Wars and you like D&D, I recommend checking us out. It's me, you, and Jay, Sam, and a couple of our buddies. We roll some dice for 3 hours, have some fun. We're not playing tomorrow, though, because it's going to be fucking 40 degrees, and we ain't doing that to ourselves. But follow us so you know when we do go live. See you, dude.
Thank you very much, Mitch. Just a disclaimer. You probably can't hear it on Discord, but those of you watching probably can hear the fan in the background. I apologise for that. There's nothing I can do. I will die if I don't have it on. And I'd rather not die before we get to finish this campaign. So
otherwise I have to take over, and that's going to be a nightmare for everyone.
All my notes. If I die, I have a secret code lined up to send all of my OneNote notes and maps to Jack with secret orders in it to attempt to kill you all one by one and make you suffer through your trauma.
They just has a heart attack and ascends to a godly realm.
Sam, are you Sam? Well, fuck it out. Jay, are you still here?
I'm still here, yeah.
Excellent. So the reason I called you Sam is because obviously Sam's not here, but I'd like to hand over the shout out to you, and I know I'm gonna regret it.
Oh god.
And also your own channel as well.
Yeah, so
take it away.
We're gonna fusion between balls and limbs. What do you get? You get Pokemon balls, Sam JKP in the balls, and we're plus Jay Muckwood Pooley doing some limb-based combat games. It's the brand now. We're doing limbs. Check out Sam JKP or Muckwood if you like trapping animated creatures into balls and making them do your bidding, or if you like losing some limbs. You know, you can watch it at the same time. We'll send you a special sticker if you watch at the same time.
I cannot confirm that stickers will be sent.
They will. PO box me. I'll give you my PO box.
Thank you, Jay, as always. Maya,
Yeah!
what about you?
Hello, I sometimes stream on the old twitch.tv/ArnieMaya, and I stream the Genshin Impact 2R, you know what I'm saying. And yeah, so I'm gonna do some Hellblade as well. I've heard it's got voices in it.
Hellblade.
Old
I'm
Hellblade.
gonna go and listen to the voices in my head. Anyway.
Don't do that.
That's it!
That was it.
That's it!
Alright.
That's all I have.
Cool, thank
No
you.
more left.
And finally, our Discord, where we put on maps and handouts and all the stuff that the players see during the game, as well as updates about when we play and any other games that go on, because we don't just play D&D, we play a couple of other systems occasionally. And we also have another campaign as the East, which is just basically more of an MMO-styled game. But we do have people that watch the stream that have joined us in that. So if you want a chance to be part of that and to be part of all the additional experiences, make sure to join the Discord. That is probably the best way to do that. So, unless there's anything else, does anyone have anything they want to update or do anything say about? Alright, in which case then, I think it's about time that we delve into today's episode of Dirty 20. Hello, welcome back. We're just reconnecting the cameras because they're being a bit funky dunky.
Funky dunky.
So, previously on Dirty 20, determined to find Aranon, Ferra Carta once again made an attempt to teleport. This time with an anchor in the form of a strange magical needle. Your teleportation brought you to an abandoned village, one from Aria's scry. Recalling a cart passing through the vision, you made to look for its tracks. Following them through the woods, you found yourselves coming upon a working factory in a clearing, its guards spotting your light. Fortunately, they didn't seem to attack you on sight, instead asking why you were there. The fear in their eyes fairly evident from the get-go. Requesting to see Aranon, you were led inside. Within the factory, you saw dozens of factory workers on the lines, grinding away at the strange mechanisms. What caught your eyes, however, was the metallic chute through which body parts seemed to be occasionally falling. Called to his office, Aranon seemed to be an unsettling presence. Someone oozing with unpredictability, a lesson you would soon learn later. Questioning about the Illithid, he first demanded a chance to see the end alongside you, driven by an obsession with his work. Whether you chose to honour that deal, you agreed. The mysterious elf proceeded to ramble about his experiments and experiences with the Illithid, even going on to explain his connections with Belinda and his role in creating the entity referred to as the Gift. One important aspect, and perhaps key to your plans, was the notion of something called an Elder Brain, a central command core that would act as the information processor for the Illithid hive mind. This entity would likely be heavily guarded and could possibly be one and the same with Algornthorn. But further questioning illuminated that the images you had seen did not match up with the theories proposed by Aranon. Eager to get back to Deep Bay, you left the factory. But as you began to teleport, Aranon uttered a word, and the entire compound erupted in explosive flame. Furious, and only kept at bay by Sindri's commands, Aranon was taken to the dungeons beneath Castle Deep Bay. Now, the question of his contribution to the meeting is up in the air, as Theodore expressed greater nervous doubts. As evening now turns to night, you return to your new fortress, empty and cold. The heavens open halfway home as you enter soaked. And that is where we pick up Ferra Carta. So, what do you wish to do?
We're back at the house, aren't we?
You are now. You are back at the house.
Did you say it was raining?
It was raining outside, so as you were heading back from the castle, which is where we left off, you returning to the fortress, about halfway back, it just began to pour with rain.
Where's Kensei for that arm wrestle?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
there.
Who is here?
I'm already in the lamp.
I would have come back after I did those sendings, so if I'm there
Yeah.
or not.
It's you and me, big boy.
We have an audience of one.
So you went to do your sendings at the church, correct? After the meeting.
Yeah, just to have like a little view out of like the sea with the abandoned church. And obviously, I did some sendings to Dinya, and then I'll start making my way back after that.
Making your way. Nice.
Can you way downtown?
It was instinct, right? I'm not trying to copy the Brad.
No.
All right, so got it. So my face just looks so blue. Give me a second.
It's slowly turning into
Oh.
Zuko.
I know what's going on.
Oh my.
Or Zuko's daddy. Oh my. Come on now. There we go. Alright.
Clicky click clack.
Clicky click clack indeed. Alright, do you know what? I don't think I've got a choice. I'm going to have to go open the window. So, as you get back, we'll start with Eridel and Kensei. So, if you want to roleplay that bit just before, I'll be right back.
So, we're going to do this. Kensei, why are you ignoring me?
Oh, is he not here?
Is he gone?
Oh no.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
hello. Oh,
Kensei?
no.
Oh,
Kensei's
no,
ignoring
Jack.
me.
We heard him
Chicken.
say, "Oh no," and then his computer died.
This happened last
brilliant.
time, damn it!
Hey, there you
Hey.
I wanted to do the goddamn arm wrestle last time, and his computer crapped out.
Alright.
You know what it is? I don't
so-
think the universe is ready for what's about to happen.
I know, I'm a little bit terrified about it myself, to be honest.
We're gonna go back
Alright.
and the entire living room is just gonna be gone.
We arm wrestled on every piece of furniture, and we broke every single one.
Alright.
Alright, I'm gonna
Arm wrestle.
grab
Okay,
I don't know,
okay.
like a loose stool or something and
Do we have any
Slam it in
furniture?
the middle of the room.
This is furniture.
You have some very basic furnishings. I'll say that there's a stall that you can use. So yeah, sure. You pull up a stall into the middle of probably the main room, wherever it is that you want to do this.
I'm gonna kneel in front of it, plonk my arm down.
I have something to show you. I think I'm going to put it in Discord now. So it's not done. It isn't done.
Oh, map of that place.
House map, house map.
House map.
I do like a good house.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
I'm the map.
I'm the map. Let me see if I can find it for ye.
For you.
Where is it? Okay, so this is the first floor. Hopefully this is gonna work. Yeah, nice. This is the second floor.
Voiced.
They are going into Discord now.
You're going into it.
It's gonna take a quick second.
Is it a WIP? Is it a whip? Work in progress.
It is a whip indeed.
Show me the money.
Is that the Dirty 20 Discord that you can join right now?
Oh my god.
It is.
It is.
You mean this one? The one there's a link to?
Oh my god.
Oh, that's gorge.
What?
And if you want to see the map, you can go right now. It's right there. Wow.
It's literally right
Look
there
at that
right now.
war room. Oh my gosh.
We have a war
Yeah.
room.
We have a war room!
Yeah.
We have a war
So
room.
the furnishings there are a little embellished at the moment, but that is generally the layout of the
Very
fortress.
nice. Very, very nice indeed.
It's a war room
We have a
delivery.
gala room.
For all those parties we won't have.
Excuse me, it's Victoria. So,
Quick, someone trash the galley and seal the door.
Skin.
All right, so you can grab a stool.
Come on, Kensei,
Um,
what are you waiting for?
Are we doing this?
Let's do this.
How are we doing this, Kensei? Strength check?
What is this strength check?
Athletics
So-
check?
So it's going to be. I'm going to say this is just strength. So it's going to be a contested strength check, and it's kind of like going to be a bit of a gauge of how far you get. So I'm going to need both of you to make me a strength check right now as you sit down, grip each other's hands, look into each other's eyes.
No eyes,
begin-
Kensei.
No, guys, you stare into the
You
horns.
stare into the horns.
Alright. Oh,
Alright.
28!
That's a save,
Oh,
isn't it?
fuck! No! Okay.
Yeah.
No!
Well. Oh wait, I was literally about to click save as well. God.
we have our own tavern.
Oh.
It's not really a tavern, it's more of like a bar. really.
17 for both of us, Ewan.
Oh, cool.
17 for both of you?
Yep.
Alright. Always happens like this. So, as you grip onto each other's hands, and you kind of count down, and as you both agree to start, your muscles tense as you grip onto each other and just... And the initial force of you both kind of going for the push, you just hold it there. You can. It's like you're not even started yet. Like outside observers would see you just kind of having sat there, not really done anything, but you can feel the tension and the muscles contracting and pulling on each other. I'm going to need another check.
I like to
let's
imagine that
go.
after that first one, there's like an anime,
Oh
like
no!
clear
Oh,
gut string.
Yeah.
And then there's something
Alright.
like, what is it? Someone comes into the house, they're like, what is this immense pressure I feel?
I'm going to need another strength check. Kensei.
Damn it! Fuck!
All right. You put all of your muscle into that first push, almost like a burst of anger and force, Aradel. Kensei, you're more reserved. You resist that force and you wait for her to lose a bit of energy in that first push as she puts all her force into it, and then you feel that sudden momentary weakness and you take advantage of it, moving your shoulder and pushing down. Aradel, you suddenly feel like you're on the back as you're kind of like having your hand twisted down. I'm going to need another save.
A save or a check?
Sorry, check. Yeah, check from both of you.
Oh fuck! Why am I rolling so bad?
Yeah. So again, like you try to pull away from it and try and make a comeback, but Kensei is just like on the offensive here as he pushes down, and your hand is inches away from the stool. You're about to lose as you make another strength check from both of you.
I'm rolling so badly.
Oh!
But this time you can feel like he was expecting to have gotten you by this point, and there's just a tether of strength in the end. And now you feel that he's like reassessing the moment, and you take advantage of that chance to push a burst up. You don't get back to the top. You're still kind of having your hand over as you're like forcing it back up. So I'm going to need another strength check.
Sorry, bear with me.
It's alright. 14 for Aradel. And a 15 for Kensei. It's short-lived, Aradel, as once again your hand is inches away from the stool. So I'm going to need what may be the last strength check here from both of you.
Crit!
Oh!
A crit!
Boy.
Yes!
Okay, let's get this going.
That's not good for you, Kensei.
Yeah, I mean, there's this tension here, and you realise you're going to lose, and it flashes through your mind what will happen if you have gone through all of this new change to just immediately lose to Kensei, and your brow furls as you stare at the horned man in front of you, and with a growl, you pull your hand up, and once again you're in the middle, the tension there. So another strength check from both of you.
Please tell me that we do this for like an hour and someone walks in.
Well, we'll see how it goes, I guess.
Oh.
Alright. At this time, it's not quite an easy push down. Kensei, you're really having to fight against this strength. You do begin to push her back down. Another strength check, please.
Wait.
Oh, that's high.
That's very low.
Yeah. At this point, it's a bit of a battle. There's not... you're both getting kind of bursts of strength here, and then needing to catch your breath and regain some stamina. And at the moment, you're just kind of going back and forth from Aradel being kind of forced back down to back into the middle, and then slightly back down, and then back to the middle. I'm going to give you both a chance here to do something outside of doing the strength checks. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Ooh.
If you can think of
I
anything
can think of
creative that might
something.
help you.
I could think of something. Hold on. What's it called? Psychic weaponry. I'm gonna enhance. It says I can enhance a weapon, and that is my fist. I'm going to enhance my fist with that psychic energy.
All right. What does the thing do again? I fucking wrote it and I can't remember.
It will give me an additional 1d6 of psychic damage.
Okay, so what I'm gonna say for this, I'm gonna consider this a guidance and give you an extra d4 on the ability check. So Kensei, is there anything you would like to do as you kind of see this battle going on?
For now, I'm just gonna say, like, as we kind of we've gone back to the center again, have we?
Yes.
I'm just gonna say, and I assume Meridell wouldn't understand it, but you just say in Polynesian, "Sure, Dicky."
Yeah, what the fuck?
What does that mean?
You can ask Arya later.
You can tell me what that means.
Nah.
Does Arya know what it means?
I'm learning Polynesian.
All right. In which case, make another strength check for the both of you, please. Eridel, you get a d4 in this. Okay, it's 11 against a 14. Yeah, Kensei once again pushes you down to a slither of the strength. Yeah, I did hear the.
Do I know she's just done that, or is that entirely?
You see like a little like pop of psychic energy, like kind of like come out, like a little like a little wispy fart come out.
Wispy fart.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like a little like like purple energy, like little like.
All right.
Kensei just like, it occurs to me that Kensei is like, has anyone seen The Boys?
Parts of it.
First season.
Kensei is getting like his gestures are like Black Noir at this point. Like he just kind of tilts his head in response to
Strong and
the
silent.
psychic fart that he just witnessed.
Nice.
Aranon
All right,
just
so
responds with shut up.
another strength check, please, from both of you.
Ah, damn it! This is the end.
Alright,
Have
yeah.
to save. Just saying.
Oh no!
Oh,
no,
shit.
Yeah, roll me another check.
Sorry, I got the wrong thing.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So
With
much
that,
work.
even with that psionic, like what you find is the first time you've really used that specific ability with this, in this way, and as you do it, you feel like your stamina drain for a second, and your arm weakens slightly, and Kensei, you once again feel that in the grip, and with the final woof, Eridel, your hand poof hits the stool as it cracks, and the stool just breaks apart. As the competition comes to an end, and as the dust settles from being brought up in the air, Kensei, your hand is just crushing hers into the stone on the ground.
Ow! 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 Eridel kind of like pulls her hand away at that little owl. It's like, and she kind of like holds her hand out.
You get the sense like he does that big old cry of Yosha, and after he's done, kind of like raising his fists in the air, you see like he like composes himself like round two.
Maybe later.
So cute. So cute. Yep. I love it.
Yeah, I've offered my
Awesome.
hand out to you for like a handshake.
Yeah, he does it. Does he feel the crushing pain of psychic energy go through?
What she's gonna do, she's kind of like, as you like reach for a handshake, like a normal handshake, she's gonna like clasp your wrist and like expect you to do the same. So it's kind of like a handshake, and then she's gonna give you like a smack on the shoulder.
Like again, he's imitating her, so he would do it a bit slower, but he follows the same action.
Fun.
That was nostalgic.
Nostalgic.
Oh. Not a lot to do when you're waiting for battle to happen, so gambling and arm wrestling is very common.
I'm familiar. Arm wrestling wasn't really my suit. I have to say I'm impressed with myself that I held out for that long. Kensei's having a little snack.
Yeah.
Right. That was a Jack interruption, not a Kensei interruption. You did pretty well, all things considered.
What do you mean, all things considered?
I mean, 2 days ago, you literally had no muscle on your body whatsoever.
That's fair. I suppose I still have a little bit of Kensei training to do.
I used to worry that you were a bit too much of a string bean, but clearly that is not a problem anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you can see, it's like, as Eridel turns away at some point, he's just going to be like slightly massaging his hand. And then in Prelusion, he just says to himself, "God damn psychic fart."
Psychic fart. Black milk and psychic fart.
Love it.
Yeah.
Your new cocktail bar.
That'll be the best items on the cocktail bar.
Psychic fart.
Psychic fart and black milk.
I mean, we've got.
All right. So as you two have your arm wrestling competition, is there anything else anyone would like to do with the remainder of this evening?
Is everybody back by now?
I'm not.
I would say that I'm pretty sure most people are back.
Is this the downtime, or do we have like downtime after this?
So, this is the evening that you just got back. So you literally just got back from talking with Theodore. I mean, the downtime, technically the downtime would start from tomorrow, and then you've basically got 3 days of it before what's presumed to be the meeting, likely in the later afternoon or evening of the day that the Queen arrives.
Okay.
So you've got a couple of days to do things in between things that are probably going to happen, in short. But tomorrow is like a full day of just like whatever it is that you need to do.
Alright.
So, specifically for this evening, is there anything anyone wants or needs to do?
I don't think there's
probably-
anything specifically. Oh, sorry. Go for it.
I was gonna say I probably would have just walked into the house as soon as Kensei like slammed Eridel's hand through the fucking table and just been like, I'm not even surprised anymore.
I like to think that you're about to open the door and you hear a loud crash, and you think we're under attack, and you burst in like,
Yeah, I said, like, what's going on?
and you just see him going, "You're shot!"
Yeah,
But
just
depending on your
go
viewpoint in
off
Kensei, it might be equally surprising.
Yeah,
I just need Storm will come in quite late because he was staying at the cells watching Aranon.
Yeah, Arya comes back late as well because she had to go for a walk.
Alright.
I am just going to check up on Arya.
Hiding.
Zuko's still hiding.
I'm like in the lounge on the fireplace. His lamp's just sat on top.
You just see the lamp there, like,
Alright.
Yeah, I'm going to check on Arya before we head to bed.
So you head up to whatever room you kind of assume that Arya may be in. I presume that's where Arya goes to when she comes back.
Let's, yeah, I mean, let's have a look at this lovely map.
So there is another floor that's going to be above this, which will be specifically, effectively like a set of rooms,
Okay. Are those
kind of divided up.
right? So those ones on there are like.
But there are rooms on the bottom floor. They're just they're like staff ones.
Oh, I see. I keep forgetting this is an estate, not just a house. Yeah. Arya probably would just go up and claim whatever room is empty.
All right. I'll say that you might see her wander up, and you can like see where she goes to.
Yeah, I'm going to follow on after her.
Okay.
You alright? I take that as a no.
Yeah, I mean, can anyone be alright after what we just saw? Like, he didn't even lift a finger. And it was gone. Fucking terrifying.
Probably his contingency plan. It's probably been there for a long time.
It's scary.
What worries you about it?
He uttered one word and it was destroyed. Could he do the same thing to a person? An army?
I mean, I don't know how magic works, but I would assume that in a factory full of whatever that was, his research, that he would have already placed enchantments around the building. Unless he has the opportunity to do so to a person. I don't know. Isn't it possible for you to strike someone down with a simple command as well?
Like that. It just shook me up a little bit is all. I think I just need to get some sleep.
Are you regretting it?
Regretting what?
Bringing him here?
I don't particularly like that he's here, no. And I don't like the idea that your mother might find out that he's here. But unfortunately, he may have answers to questions we have, so we have to deal with it. Talk to you about something.
Hmm?
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, I don't think he's as insane as he gives off.
Makes me even more nervous.
Anyway, you were saying. Yes.
During the time we have, I want to bring something to your attention, but I'm tired. So let's talk about it in the morning, yeah? An
All
idea.
right.
I want to run it by you because you have the most information.
Alright. Way to
Okay.
make me nervous.
Join the club.
Kensei beat me in an arm wrestle this evening.
Really? Even with your new muscles?
Mm-hmm.
How did that go down?
I held my own for a bit.
Yes.
Had I tried him a week ago, I would have been absolutely demolished. My hand probably broken. But doesn't seem in
You
too
made
bad
him sweat a little bit.
a little.
Good.
I think I need to grow into them a little bit more.
You will. You will. They look nice on you, the muscles.
Thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome,
looking
okay,
forward
good
to...
night.
Okay, bye! Okay, bye! I'm gonna imagine that they're kind of like standing at the door and she kind of like shuts the door. I'm like, okay, bye!
Fade to black, fade to black, fade to black! Alright, so is there anything else anyone wants to do before evening comes to a close?
Not I, good sir.
Alrighty. So, individually you find some time to take some rest. The wind is really strong. I think someone's fan might be right on their mic.
Oh, sorry, I think that might have been me. I just leant down.
Alright, so as you find your rest for the evening, another night of sleep ensues. As you begin to awake the next day, the sun not really finding its way into your rooms. Here in Deep Bay, as you have become very accustomed to, the overcast is strong, and daylight is mostly just very light grey, cloudy skies. So as morning comes, you do begin to rouse. You get to decide what you'd like to do with your day. So, as people may have heard us talking about a little bit beforehand, you've got a couple of days of downtime, so we'll do it probably about a day at a time, or person by person basis, and then we'll kind of figure out how many days each thing might take. So, who would like to go first? Got a day of something to do, unless there's something big that you all want to do together. I'll put that out first. Let's try that first.
Don't care, or...
I think I would like to kind of gather the group for a conversation just about how we're going to approach the meeting.
All right, yeah. Let's do that first then. So, as you all wake up and begin to realise that you have these couple of days to see to your own affairs, we'll say that as you gather at like the foyer, let's say, of the house, we're able to have this conversation.
So we've got a meeting in a day. Is that right?
Yes.
Few days?
In a bit, I'd say.
Tomorrow or the next, I'm pretty sure. Yes.
I just want to go over a few things. There are going to be a significant amount of important people in the room. Not just royalty, but representatives from other kingdoms. I'm going to kind of give like a little side eye to Zuko and Storm when I say that.
Excuse me?
What?
Why are you side-eyeing me? Like I'm... That's fine.
I just wanted to ask how we're planning to approach these people. I know that most of us are not confident in speaking their language.
I was thinking flattery and gift baskets.
I like that plan.
Little handmade soap, some baked goods.
With the little shampoos, you know?
Yes. Give them a welcoming gift of Deep Bay to butter them up.
I think we should maybe try our hand at being peacekeepers for a change. I can imagine there's going to be a lot of different perspectives, lots of different wants and needs. And we are in the middle of it all.
You want to be the buffer?
I mean, somebody's got to, and I don't think Cecilia, Theodore, or this representative is going to. Certainly not Aranon, if he's even allowed in the room.
So,
I advise we do not allow Aranon in.
My only qualm with that is how is he supposed to give us answers to questions if he is locked in a cell and bound?
also,
We
then
don't
it
allow your
was
mother in.
then it was for nothing. All those
He
people
has
died
already-
for no reason.
Hasn't he already told us mostly what we need to know? We just need to pass it on to the rest of them.
That is...
I had a conversation with him last night. He's holding back on some things. He feels that if he gives away too much information too soon, we will dispose of him.
If only he hadn't given us a perfectly good reason to.
All I'm saying is that there's going to be a lot of tension, obviously, and most of the time, myself included, we don't help with diffusing tension, so perhaps we should try to keep the peace.
What is the objective? The
It'll
ultimate,
definitely make a difference.
our desired outcome of this? What is it necessarily? Exactly, what's our objective here?
Well, it depends on what they have to say, but I would say that preparing the kingdoms, for one, and also perhaps seeing what we can do in terms of posting maybe small armies around possible points.
Emergent sites.
Yes, emergent sites. Thank you, Kenzie.
Okay, so we need to... Okay.
I do have a bit of a war plan I could share with you guys. I've been working on a couple
Amazing.
of days now. It's basically hinged on whether we knew where the elephant would come up. Unfortunately, we do not know that. The long and short of it is we dispose little armies at those emergent points and have people in the cities and towns that aren't a part of these big kingdoms sent over to the kingdoms for safekeeping. Instead of trying to fight them like a war and win, we have to slowly retreat into like checkpoints,
Minimize
basically
the
holding them off until we can get to do, what was it he called, the Elder Brain?
That's right.
Yes, it's basically a war of holding them back until we can achieve our targets.
That will get harder and harder the longer it goes on, right? Aranon said that
yes, that's
any
why
army feeds theirs.
That's why I suggested we have the strongest willed fighters on the front line and have them retreat as soon as they feel like their mind getting taken over. That's why we have checkpoints along the fallback point.
We
Taking time
is more.
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say maybe less is more. Yes, if they were to get too many people under their control, it would be harder to combat.
It's not just armies that they're looking for either, it's also their source of food.
Yes.
So the less people that there are for them to attack, the less force and food they have.
That's why I'm saying we get the people in the towns outside of city walls inside them.
Yes, that's a good idea.
And we have... Where's people that we said to meet in Deep Bay? They're on their way, right?
They should be, yes. I'm also planning on contacting the Unhallowed today to see if we are to get any new response from them.
I was thinking we could maybe use his Darien dipshit as a way to transport people faster. It's much faster to do it by ship than it is by land, and safer.
Civilians will be easy targets.
Perhaps
that is
something that...
No, you go.
Perhaps something that might be worth doing is one of the leaders of the country sending a letter to the Isles, perhaps asking them to withhold the raids and to fortify themselves.
Would the Isles listen to that? If we ask them to hold back the raids, that just incentivize them to do it more. I don't know about them.
Would it sound like an invite to them, perhaps?
It depends on the phrasing. If it's threatening, then yes, but if it is in the spirit of allyship, then perhaps. Were it my father on the throne, I would say that he might listen to reason, but I don't know with Gwaine.
About, instead of getting a leader to write it, you write it. You know the culture and how they work and how to communicate with them.
All this talk of
say it's from a leader.
Makes me think maybe we could have a contingency plan on port in case places are overrun. People could flee to ship.
Yes,
if they are available.
That was my plan of like getting Darien to take civilians away from cities and towns if they fall.
We'll need more than just Darien's ship, though.
Yes, he was an example I was using, just because we know him.
That feels like a good plan.
There's something I've been meaning to put forward, actually, ever since I learned that Foyfort would be at this meeting. Now, I want to preface that this doesn't take priority, but it could be a good opportunity to try and kill another bird with a stone, so to speak.
Looks at Gaiac.
Yeah, Gaiac kind of, he's listening, but sort of just kind of, looking around at the whole group. As soon as Kensei says that, his head just flicks straight to it.
Sorry, Gaiac.
Fine, go on.
I know it hasn't come up in some time, but we are currently, we are in our home right now, right? Like, there's no one else here other than us.
Yeah, you're in your home, yeah.
And just before I say this, Storm, could you do a quick one?
Yes, I'm on it. I might need someone to mark on my sheet, but yeah, strike my blade, cast the invisibility, have a look around.
I'll do it.
Thank you. You might have to reset some.
Yeah, we've rested now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got all your spell slots back.
Is good.
Oh yeah, shit.
You cast the invisibility. Where's that?
Second?
Yeah, you're casting it at second, yeah?
Second level, yeah.
Alright, so that's if you want to slow down.
I might have to do a perception check as well. I don't know what you want me to do.
Are you muted?
I would also.
Oh wait, no, you have to
Ah,
roll,
yeah.
so you're down to 2.
Yeah, and a quick perception check as well, please, Al. Thank you.
And a perception check, yep. Okay.
And perception check, please, Al.
So, another constant.
And
a vowel.
And a spell slot, please. And another spell slot.
I just got the reference.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a natural one.
I can't even see it, so I'm just gauging off your reactions right now.
Yeah, that's for a total of 6. Okay. Alright, you look around. I mean, nothing is obviously there. Obviously, when you're doing this is specifically looking for things that might be attempting to hide.
Crying eyes.
So, as you look around, you don't see any scrying orbs that seem to be very obvious to you, because presumably that is what you're looking for. Yeah.
Oh, we're in the clear.
We currently have an ongoing issue with certain crone entities in our wood.
Oh, the witches.
Yes.
Well, I think that's
Oh,
a bit more your issue, isn't it? But yes.
Well, because the 2 people have been affected by this. He gestures to Eridel as well.
We still have the witch's eye in a bag of holding. I feel like once the witch's eye in the bag of holding sort of stopped as soon as we put it in there.
I wouldn't count on it being finished, but...
Yes, I don't want to rely on my...
I'm not saying it's finished, I'm just saying, for the time being, I'm pretty sure an army is... Either if it's just going to be a bit more...
My point I was going to raise was, should we bring up in the meeting, not that we have had dealings with these creatures, because I can't imagine that would go well, especially with 4-4. But is there a way that we could contrive some reason for them to leave the forest? That's basically what the witches wanted, wasn't it?
From what I remember, yes, they wanted the Witchwoods to be left untouched by the war.
Is there some way, as part of the negotiations, we could contrive a reason for them to give it a wide berth?
Don't see why not. If the ambassador there has some sway, we can bring it up.
I just see this as a good opportunity to try and eliminate another potential threat while we can. As I said, it doesn't take priority, but when are we ever going to get another chance to address the leadership of 4-4?
The last thing we want during our war is a backstab from them.
The next time we see 4-4, we may be enemies again, so...
Yes, I was going to ask. You've all had a run-in with Foyfortians before, correct?
Briefly, yes.
Are they likely to have a distaste towards you?
We're
Well,
I mean, if anything,
from what-
we sort of... Sorry.
I was to say, from what I know, I wasn't there for very long, but we escaped the city and they chased us. We were smuggled out, weren't we?
Yes, we were. Oh wait, no, was I there for that?
Yeah, I think you were.
Yeah, that was literally just as you'd come back.
It was post-Abyss, yeah.
That was the only teleportation circle we
Post-Abyss,
knew of.
I like that.
Post-Abyss arc.
supposed to miss basically anything in this campaign.
Yeah,
Given
yeah.
there was like 10, 15 sessions before.
There's one.
Yeah, because we got smuggled out, didn't we? Yeah, and that's when Val'Aeria left. Yeah.
It is very curious though why the ambassador asked for us specifically. How do they know of us? Are we that
They must have kept
loud?
check on you, I suppose.
Because we're
Well,
so
this-
amazing.
Yeah, we're not really stealthy in the way we do things. Like
It could all
let's
be
fair.
potentially because we killed some of their men on the way out of the city.
Right, and you have involvement with this Mayfly individual who is a revolutionary, from what I've
Mm.
heard.
He wasn't
if that-
winning with them.
Revolutionary.
Well, he's trying to get Foyfort out of that city, right?
Yes, and that may also come up tomorrow. That's
Right.
And our involvement in it, I don't know how publicly known that is. Probably.
We should assume that they know. In case it comes up, we'll be prepared.
And in case it comes up, we must know what we are willing to sacrifice. If it means peace with Foyfort, does this mean we have to sever our ties? What are we willing to sacrifice?
Are you willing to do that?
Speaking from the person who doesn't like Foyfort or the enemy that they're fighting, I feel like peace among the two factions would be hard, but also doable. It's been going on for far too long, and people have been dying. He obviously wants this meeting for a reason, so they're coming in with a goal. They wouldn't do it otherwise. They would just carry on the war.
So are we going in there as open books? We're going to share all the information we can about this threat.
Let's say
I
we
like
go in
this
there.
metaphor.
Sorry?
I said I like this metaphor. Open books.
Is Aranon going to be present at this meeting then?
I think,
Um,
as Ariel said, we got him for a reason. He is an expert.
Yes.
I think he should definitely be guarded and heavily chained, but
Because one of the main reasons for this meeting as well is information sharing. We need to find out any weaknesses of the elephant that we can, and also the situations in other countries.
Yes.
I'm happy to put him down if he tries anything.
Or say,
Have
yes,
we-
I'll happily do that.
Have we got access to that one that can bound him, I mean?
Wand?
Aerodel.
Yeah,
Aerodel
I've got
has
it.
the wand of binding.
Perhaps
I
we
forgot about
bind
that.
him.
Is that an achievement item?
Yes.
Nope.
Wait. No, it's
Nope.
not.
Don't think so. It's just charges, right?
Yeah.
It's got
Aye,
the whole
aye.
person.
I'm not sure because I remember us having this question before.
Oh no, it does require attunement.
does the wand require some level of arcane
I
knowledge
should
to
update
use?
my magical items list.
If you don't
I'm
have
sure
the slot,
there's an-
I
the
think it
capability,
might.
I'll take it.
Right, that's 3 items for you then, Maya. Just keep that in mind.
He was pretty compliant to be chained. Perhaps that is enough.
Also pretty scary that he's happily chained up.
Probably because he's powerful enough to remove himself at will. I'm not sure what difference a magical binding will make. Perhaps it's just for our own peace of mind, and the guests. They want to feel it, at least that they are safe.
I think Theodore will be savvy to his abilities as well. He'll be making sure that he's not doing anything, so perhaps it's not the worst thing to have him. Better he's visible.
Physically chained and magically chained then.
So, information sharing, battle plan, preparing at possible emergent sites. Anything else?
Well, it's You said weaknesses, right?
Yes.
That's part of information sharing.
Battle plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Am I just repeating what you just said?
Yes.
Too much.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's not. I get it. Yeah. So basically, sharing information on everything that people know, then using that information to make some kind of plan and preparing at possible emergent sites.
Yes.
Yes, and
We
perhaps...
also need. Sorry.
Go
ahead.
go, Alistair. Sorry.
I was going to say, it's part of information sharing and battle plan combined, but we would need a direct route to the Elder Brain.
That's what I was going to say as well.
That's something
And
that I think that
If we have,
would have to deal with.
Maybe we can
We'll-
ask for like
yes,
some of the strongest from each faction, and we go on a spearhead campaign.
well, we have Samuel making his way to Deep Lay, so
Am I?
his group.
Samuel Farmer.
And
yes.
Sam.
The legend.
We have Sam, Leolaw, and Mumble coming.
Oh my god.
Oh, the
Oh wait,
Sounds
and
like
Darius
fun.
coming as well apparently, so we'll have a little family
Family
reunion.
reunion.
It may also be
Right.
worth.
Whoa! Who are you?
Oh, give me my
And,
shit, mate, you little toe rag.
Contacting Shala is on the list, so that we can see if she's
Yes.
gained any information
An
about where
update from
perhaps.
her will be very, very crucial.
But if
I'll
not,
be on that.
do we all at least somewhat feel good about my guess about that Razazan area being a potential Elder Brain location?
Yes.
It seemed heavily guarded.
Or at least
least-
somewhere that leads to it.
Maybe it
Yeah.
is the entrance to the passageway. You know,
There might be another one of those tree things.
the hubs.
Yes.
Oh,
We
and
are
maybe
also-
we told. Aranon would have loved to hear about that.
Well, I'm quite glad we didn't tell him, knowing what he does with information.
Are we taking Aranon on the trip to the Elder Brain?
No
Did
fucking
ask.
way.
He believed he could lead us there, but I think that's
That's the
if
only
it's-
reason why
I
I
do not
asked.
trust once we've dealt with the Elder Brain that he wouldn't do something with it or take
it's.
it.
No.
Did anyone get the idea that he kind of admired them?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Almost like he wanted to be
Yes.
them. Like
Yes.
to get in on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
As long
Well,
as
knowing what he did
leaves-
to my ancestors, then yes.
Do you think he was jealous that he couldn't do it to himself?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, he literally said he pitied that he couldn't do it.
He
He
to
doesn't
referred
himself.
to
come
himself
on
as a
this trip
god
with
to make
us.
himself feel better about the fact that he couldn't have the power himself.
My mother referred to him as a I can't.
Lunatic?
He referred to himself as a god, but she said that he was an overseer, the one who sacrificed the greatest power to overlook the others.
See,
How noble.
Look, for now, as long as he believes that he will be coming on this trip with us, he will give us more information. Doesn't mean we actually have to take him.
If he
Just saying it
I
would also be an
agree.
easy way to kill him.
Besides, he
Like,
said
although
if
he
he
died in
wanted to be
battle.
there at the end, he didn't say that he had to be conscious.
I will say that we should keep an open mind for now because he is a very perceptive person,
Yes.
and if he gains insight that we are not planning to take him, then perhaps he will withhold information. So
We
for
don't
now, we
want-
should keep an open mind to it.
if for some reason we don't get out of him what we need to, I can also try speaking to him as maybe someone he might talk to.
interesting.
Maybe
I
Belinda.
mean,
That
yes,
is a
we...
brilliant idea.
That is a brilliant idea. I'd be
This is what I
very
was-
interested to hear what he has to say to her.
If he
is what I was
can't
going to
read
bring up
minds,
last
well, that's
night.
not good, yes.
If we
I
don't,
suggest we do
let
this.
us take him to the meeting first and see what he says. If he doesn't play ball, this can be plan B, and I can go as Belinda and try and talk to him.
She can visit him in prison.
I could try to make him more suggestible, and then you go in.
Whatever. But I feel like if he sees a face
Yes,
like
no.
hers, it might be a bit more loose-lipped. I don't know.
Less is more. Do your plan. It's good.
But let's see how the meeting goes first.
Okay, sounds like we have everything we need to be doing for the meeting.
Yes.
I do have one more question. Who exactly is going to be there? Because it's all very foggy.
Theodore, Cecilia, the ambassador from Foyfort, Orilla, And
Yes.
us.
And
And
us.
And Aranon.
And Aranon.
So 6 parties.
And I imagine each one will have a guard or something, like a few extra.
I would be very concerned if Cecilia didn't show up with any guards.
Whatever you do, don't try to
This-
command her guards. She doesn't take it very
Just
well.
on this, we need to have everybody checked before they enter the room and are given any information. Remember that the illicit could be anywhere.
My political awareness is pretty limited. What's the vibe between each other? I get the idea that Foyfort and David don't play ball very nice.
Oh no, they're the best of friends.
Theodore and Cecilia, are they going to be chummy? Or are they going to be a little...
From what I know of the rest of the coast, the kingdoms keep to themselves for the most part. They have not exactly amiable relationships, but they sort of put up with one another. I think that David is probably more on the outskirts due to their secluded religious nature.
Yes.
Foyfort the same.
The hardest
Also-
one to broker alliance between would definitely be Foyfort and David.
Mm.
That's
So-
the trickiest part.
Cecilia, despite her very strict nature,
She's
did
reasonable.
agree to come here after talking with
Yes.
Theodore.
Yes.
So
She
clearly
can, be,
she must
she
have.
can be reasoned with.
Yes. And plus, if Theodore was the one to convince her, she must have some respect.
Yes.
Okay. So are we going to be the main mouthpiece, or is Theodore?
I think it will probably be us because we know most about this.
And if Theodore says it, does it come across like Deep Bay are trying to order everyone around? We didn't want that.
We're a neutral party.
We're a neutral
I
party.
think, isn't it right that this meeting doubles up as really a meeting between Deep Bay and Balloon? They are brokering alliance.
Possible alliance, yes.
Trade deals and the like.
Trade treaties and stuff, yes.
Okay.
I mean, we always have Theodore as kind of, someone who can back us up. You can see he's very clued in on what we've been doing. So
Yes.
if they won't take our word, they can take his. Well, they should, because we're knights.
And we are the most informed people on this entire situation.
Yes.
I've just realised we're Knights of Loom and Lords of Deep Bay, so we're literally playing both sides here.
Culture. She's right.
We're Lords of Deep Bay and Knights. But we only have a house in one country.
We're Lord Knight. Knight Lords.
Ferra Carta, mini-arc becomes landlords.
Oh no, not landlords.
Really bad.
And then we
landlords as
become
well.
the true villains of the show, where we drive up property prices.
Now, you've got,
The real
you've got
the real
that holding your own.
BBEG was capitalism.
Alright.
Okay then. The final thought: gift baskets, yay or nay?
Do we have time to make
I
them?
am
Zuko-
all about them.
Just one moment, Zuko. What would you even put in a gift basket to these people?
You only learned about these
So-
videos like 5 minutes ago.
An actual
Deep Bay scent in
nice scent,
Flowers.
yes. Flowers, baked treats, and perhaps a little knick-knack. Something
not-
Deep Bay.
Not to
Anything
be insulting,
artistic in
Zuko, but
Cecilia.
your idea of a nice scent is seawater.
No, I've learned from that Can we just get over the Deep Bay scent thing?
I'm never going to get over it.
I can
I'm
make it
over it.
for you. We can put that in a gift
Ooh, a
basket,
little
right?
taste of Gaiac's fantastic cooking.
If there's anything artistic, Cecilia will like it.
Ooh, I'll keep that in mind.
Zuko, why don't you just paint everything for
Are we
someone?
really doing this?
I could try. I've not painted in.
I will help with it.
If I may,
Are we
put
really
in-
bringing gift baskets?
If you're going to insist on this, Zuko, for the love of God, do not make the gift baskets appear. There are some leaders here that are against arcade usage.
We've all got our magic license. This is Deep Bay, baby.
How
Yes.
do we know what the gift basket is?
But that raises a good point. They will,
No.
they will be
Cecilia
a
and-
city that allows it, so they don't have to get used to it.
There's
But-
going to be several people at this meeting that won't look too kindly on them if a
If you
gift
believe
basket
it.
magically materializes in their desk.
If you think it will offend, I will not, because I want to be helpful.
You raise a valid point about the people coming here that do not like the arcane. I think we shouldn't bring up what Aranon has committed. It would scare Cecilia. It would scare
That
Voidford.
does not need to be public knowledge.
We
You're
don't need
not
a bad
going to-
impression
Not
of
yet.
magic.
Which maybe perhaps is a point to not bring Aranon involved, because he might just blurt it out like,
Well,
"Oh, you're
we
still
keep
mad
him
at
We need
silenced.
him in the room.
We keep him silenced until the time is to talk. If he decides to say something stupid, then we execute him because he's not useful to us.
Oh dear, this
I
is going to be a
think,
fun engagement.
Yes, we do want to. It might also be a good point to bring up the fact that these creatures are weak to arcane, and that, like it or not, they may want to increase their level of arcane use.
I like this.
At least lean on the
plant
best.
those
It's-
seeds
yes.
in their
We need
minds.
to. What we need to pitch it to them is not a matter of magical rights or anything like that. It is at this point a matter of necessity.
Perhaps
Yes.
if... No, we need illithid
could-
corpses.
We
I'm
we-
just thinking that perhaps those who are stationed on the posts where, potential illithids surfacing, that it might be worth making some more of those circlets. Perhaps Glimmerin could teach others how to make them.
Not a bad idea.
The leaders would certainly appreciate the thought. And
on-
I like the idea that this might encourage the other countries to see that magic can be helpful.
If nothing
scary
else,
as it is.
Very beneficial.
we need to make them see that it is a necessity for survival. It is not a
Yes.
matter of right or wrong in this situation. They need it to survive.
We can
Yes.
mention that in our experience, the illithid have gone out of their way to eliminate the arcane users first. They are so
Yes.
deadly towards them. They're so afraid of that.
I may also think to bring up, Storm, you contacted the Unhallowed, correct?
Already, yes. I'm going to make another contact today because
If we do not receive a response, or if they're unable to make it in time, I recommend that we also advise the leaders to maybe hire out contracts with the Unhallowed for their countries.
That could work very, very well.
If they pay them a generous sum, they
If they bring back illithid corpses, then it means that Glimmerin has the opportunity to craft more circlets, which
We
means
have
more
expert
defenses for the
hunters
others.
looking for illithid. They kill the illithid, bring them back. Glimmerin uses the parts to make more anti-illithid devices.
I've heard if you remember what the Unhallowed said over the sending, they fear their chances. That is concerning.
I fear their chances if they do nothing.
They are a dying order, I believe.
sorry.
There'll be a dead order if the illithid take over.
The only thing with
course.
this thing is that process is going to take some time. Tammy might not have.
I know, but it's something that they could be doing while.
Yes, of course.
You raise a valid point, though. If they're being paid generously enough, it might incite them to.
Let's be clear. Our goal, this group, Ferra Carta, is pretty clear, and I don't think we have any other preparation that we have to do for ourselves. We need to find this Elder Brain and kill it. That's our mission now.
Yes.
I think
We will be the team that go and find the Elder Brain.
yes, and we need to project that. They are putting a lot of faith in us when we go to this meeting tomorrow. We are basically telling the leaders of 4 independent nations, potentially 5, depending on. I'm thinking about something else. 4 nations. We are asking to put the future of their civilizations in the hands of just a bunch of what, as they refer to, mercenaries. We need to project strength that we will take care of our end. This meeting is about them taking care of their end.
Of course.
You're right.
Sounds like we're all in agreement, yes.
That's you guys. Look at us making plans and being prepared and stuff.
And on that note, I need to get to the bakery before it closes.
I can't believe we're bringing gift baskets to the rulers.
Oh, they're going to be so
I'm-
good.
I'm also going to do a little bit of snooping, but that'll be a surprise. We'll see what happens.
Wait, what?
I'm going to see if I can track down something helpful.
If you're going to the bakery, can you pick me up a cinnamon roll?
Of course. Does anyone else want anything?
Were those things we tried in Bloom?
Yes, they
They're
are delicious.
Yes, I'll take one of them if they have them.
Can I have one of them creamy topped cakes that make me very ill?
Someone show me an image of one so I know what I'm looking for.
I think is it like this? And I cast like a major illusion.
Use the spell slot for
A major illusion. It's just a very big cinnamon roll.
It's on the war table.
20 foot by 20 foot. And now
You know exactly what it looks like.
No, the one
Cream
that
cake
Jack
thing.
mentioned, the cream cake.
Are we talking about the ones we had at Ferra Carta?
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember sitting at the table.
Donuts. Is that the one you're thinking of?
Yeah, like 2 years
There
ago.
was just something that had cream on it, and I remember Guy, I just was munching it, gobbling it like a gremlin.
Aria, could I have
No
a
cream?
gold allowance per basket, please?
Oh my god. Oh my god, that was a good.
20 gold.
20? I was gonna say 10.
20 gold. Goodness me, that shopkeeper wanted 2,000 for a needle.
Let's not get into the needle debate.
Oh, did you know that Theodore was very cross about that? It was very funny.
I'm gonna say 10 gold per basket.
10 gold. And how many will I need to make? Cecilia,
Only
White
2,
Lord.
correct?
Cecilia, Orilla,
Orilla, Voivod.
Who else?
You want to or
Is there
Aurela?
a
I guess.
potential for David? They're invited, right? But they're not confirmed.
You can just make me a gift basket and I'll send it over to them when I'm unbanned from the city.
I'll make 4.
I have one.
Oh, you're planning to be unbanned, are you?
I'll make 4 gift baskets.
My
So,
sister
what
lives there, so I'd like to visit her.
is a gift basket? A literal basket, or
Yes, I'm going to find a weaver.
then
A basket full of gifts.
I cannot make stew because it will fall through the holes.
What?
That is a very good point, but you can carry salted meats and fish in those baskets.
Right, I give
It's not
Zuko
stew.
40 gold.
I have some vials, Gayak. Could you put your soup in some mini vials?
Get your soup out,
I'm
mother.
not
Soup in a
Heston-
vial?
I'm not Heston Blumenthal.
It's just like
Espen is canon in here.
it's test soup shots, basically.
Oh, I love it.
Right.
Heston Blumenthal, he's an Aarakocra.
Pheasant Blumenthal.
Oh, no. Right, I'm going.
Please don't, because I will make it canon.
I'm gonna go find him and buy from him. I'm gonna go look for stuff with the gift baskets. I'll make a list.
Alright.
I like how Mitch actually leaves.
Just before we all break off and we start whatever downtime, as we're all breaking away, I'm just gonna grab Eridel. Did you mean
Hello?
what you said?
About what?
You want to play buffer? Mediator between everyone?
Oh, don't look so shocked.
I mean, can you blame me?
I mean, a little.
You're going to get through this entire meeting without losing your
I
cool?
was trained in diplomacy.
Mhm.
It's a little different in the Isles, but
Well,
I can talk to people, Arya.
Yes, you certainly can. You have such a way with words, Eridel.
Mm.
But you're not going to lose your cool once, huh?
I am not planning to. No.
Okay. Well, how about this? You get through this meeting without losing your cool once. I'll owe you a favor.
Oh, I don't like favors anymore after dealing with Sindri. What does a favor mean?
I'll owe you one. So you tell me. It can be anything.
Does it mean a special kind of favor? I'm gonna give her a little cheeky wink.
The favor can be whatever nature you desire.
Excellent. All right, I'll take you up on it.
But
Then.
you have to get through the meeting without losing your cool.
What are we counting as losing my cool exactly?
Snapping at people, maybe. Yeah, snapping at people.
Do I
Mostly.
snap?
Sometimes.
Just saying things honestly.
Yes. You know.
I will do my best to be a sweet little peony.
I'm not asking you to be precious, but don't go starting fights.
In a meeting room? Goodness me.
Not all fights are physical, I don't know. You get through it. I owe you one favor.
Done. So, how are you planning on practicing the Belinda impression?
To look down my nose a lot, as if everyone is dirt beneath my feet.
Good. Now tell me that I need to sit up straight and shut up. Got it.
Your posture. Wait, I kind of I keep as Arya, but I change my voice box. The posture is terrible, girl. Stand up straight. Is that good? Was that good? Did I get that good?
Perhaps a little more gentle.
Oh, but she's a bitch. Why would she be gentle?
She's a snake.
Okay, I can do this. You give me some time. I'm gonna go into my room. I'm gonna go get into character. Okay, It's gonna take a few hours, and I'm gonna do some character work. But I'm going to get into character, and it's gonna be the best performance ever.
Notes. I want to see them all.
You got it.
Before everyone goes,
Don't forget to do your actions.
Yes.
I would have. Can I say that I would have said this before everyone starts to leave off? Just how
Sure.
I just want to let everyone know I plan on today doing some arcane practice, perhaps with some town guards that have some proficiency with the arcane, if anyone wishes to train.
What kind of training?
Practicing the mind, seeing if there's any guards that, like I said, have any proficiency. I might see if I can teach them a spell or two to prepare them in case they have to come face to face with an elephant.
I think I might go with you.
Excellent. That's all I would have said. Just that was how I planned to spend my downtime.
All right. So, with that conversation out of the way, let's do some downtime stuff. So, like I said, we'll do it person by person, and then if something is going to take more than just a day, like mechanical downtime activity stuff, then we'll kind of play with that as we go. So, just taking today as the first day, let's start. Who would like to go first?
Should we roll for it?
No.
Elle ain't here. So.
Make a decision. You got to be decisive.
I'll go second.
I might have something. I'm just writing stuff down. So,
Alright.
So do Zuko in the bakery first.
Zuko in the bakery.
Good
mini-series.
He's like Belle going through the village.
We need something wholesome.
Yeah, I'll head out to the local bakers.
Alright, yeah, you head down to the exchange. I mean, there's bakeries along the ways, but the best stuff is sold down at the exchange. Actually, to be honest with you, depends on what kind of thing you want, because Arton is going to be that's predominantly where the artisans actually live.
Okay.
And more interesting bakeries would probably be there.
Yeah, I'll head to the more interesting thing.
Alright, yeah, sure.
I'd head inside. I'd be looking out for the cinnamon roll things as described, and also this creamy donut thing I was shown.
Okay, the creamy
Browsing.
donut thing. All right. So as you head into Arton, you begin to sift through some of the main streets, trying to look to see if there's anything fascinating to you. And you come to one bakery that you can smell from a while away as you're walking up the street. You can smell the scent of some very salivating scents as you approach somewhere called Plentiful Pastries. As you kind of approach, you can see the frosted windows, like the frosted glass windows, and through it is the part of the bakery in there, and an assortment of pastries and cakes and whatnot in there. And then one of the first things you can tell already is that there is an artistic element to them, rather than just being basic breads and I guess pastries and the like. This shop seems to have flares to it. For example, as you step through the doorway, you can see there's a couple of almost like cookies, you're assuming, which seem to be moulded into the shape of a griffin, for example. But as you step in, like, you can see this plentiful assortment of pastries.
Good morning. Hello.
You don't hear anyone at first.
Hello?
And then, hold on. There's a screech of like a stool behind the desk, and above from the desk you can see this short individual who is a halfling with this kind of messy brown hair that falls down their shoulders. Kind of looks above in this apron and a rolled up white tunic which has got flour all over it, and down his hands kind of pulls himself up onto probably like a step ladder from behind and looks over at you. Good morning.
Good morning. What a fantastic shop you've got. This is probably the most fantastic bakery I've seen in the entire city. I'm really excited.
Stop, you're going to make me cry.
What is your name?
How generous of you. No one ever asks my name.
I'd like to know the man behind the pastry.
Bernard.
Bernard. Well, Bernard, this morning I have come to get
Oh!
some pastries for some friends of mine and I. We're after something with a cinnamony flavour, and also something I describe like the creamy covered cake thing. That's just for us personally. But also, I am preparing some gift baskets for some royal visitors to Deep Bay.
Royals?
That's right. Royals! And they need the finest treats. What would you recommend?
Oh. The thought of royals eating my pastries, it's so tantalizing. Let's see if I can find something for you.
Yes.
What was it that you were looking for again?
Something cinnamony, like a roll, and a cream cake.
He hops down the ladder, and you can hear like him pattering behind. You can see his head and the upper part of his torso as he's walking alongside through the glass of the cabinet that shows you all the pastries. In a few moments, he comes back with a small brown bag with the items you requested for yourselves, and inside you can smell a strong scent of cinnamon wafting out, and sort of are they like donuts? Is that what you sent?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Let's see. I have no idea. I cannot. Did someone send them, or is it more like a tart?
No,
is that
I
what he
don't
was
know if anyone
requesting?
sent any image.
What, for the cinnamon roll?
Yeah.
It was just anything with cinnamon. He just said cinnamon roll.
Alright, so I'll say that whatever it is that he requested, whether it's a donut or like a tart, there's some of those in there as well. And then, after a while, I say he comes back with a kind of a small wooden crate with a few selections. On there are some muffins from chocolate to like blueberry and vanilla, and a few other unique flavoured ones. There's some cookies on there as well, and an assortment of different pastries, from both savoury to sweet. So it's your pick of what it is that you'd like.
What of this that I only get here in Deep Bay?
Ooh. Sort of like recipes for this area, rather than...
Yes, that when you bite into it, you taste Deep Bay itself.
Ooh. I see. Well, some of the locals like the clam one, the clam pastry. It's so savoury.
The clam one? Okay, yes.
Yes.
Does he point that out?
Yeah, he'll actually walk away. He didn't put it on this platter because kind of he assumed that it's more of a common man's pastry. But he comes over, and it's a pastry that's in the shape of a clam, and you can like open it up and you see the food on the inside. It closes it back up, but it is kind of this clam design, and there's definitely a seafood scent that washes over it. A scent that reminds you of a certain perfume.
Would you feel comfortable with me putting this in these gift baskets? It is quite pretty, even though you say it's not. It's more for the common man.
Well, if you want something that reminds you of Deep Bay, this is what I would say.
So that a pair of those. So I need 8 of those.
I just got out making some.
Fantastic, and with what we've got as well, that will come to a price of.
He tallies it. He tallies it all up, and I think I'm gonna say some of the more interesting things. I'm gonna say it's gonna come to about 20 gold.
Damn.
This is a very unique and one of the best pastry places in the city, and you bought quite a lot, and I'm kind of reducing it because of the clam ones. They're more standard.
Fantastic. And additionally, if you have any business cards for me to add, I would love to let the royals know where all these fantastic goods came from.
Oh, business cards. I do not have these, but if you say the best bakery in Aranon.
The best what now?
Bakery.
Bakery in Aranon.
Yes.
Of course. Plentiful pastries, was it?
Yes.
Fantastic. Bernard, you've been a pleasure.
And it's been a pleasure to give you such wonderful treats. What's your name?
Prince Zuko.
Prince? Oh, I apologize. And he like bows his head and knocks it on the glass.
Oh, please! I'm not a prince here. It's not necessary.
Okay, Your Highness, sir. Person.
Perhaps I will return for more delicious treats.
Please see that you do.
Have a nice day.
You won't find finer pastries in Deep Bay.
Alright, and then I'll fuck off.
Alright, you fuck off.
Whilst I'm perusing around these marketplaces and these stores, I'd be using my intuitiveness towards tracking treasures and leads to just keep an ear out and a nose around for mentions of the Demon's Touch or Blackgate or that surrounding area or anything that looks or feels like it might be from that region. Obviously, that's
alright.
Within.
Are you
more?
Like talking with people?
Yeah.
And like finding out information rather than kind of like Yeah, okay.
So
In which
as I'm
case then-
going round and stocking these baskets, I'd be looking at like antiques vendors and like all different like pawn shops like we did before, but asking specifically about that area if they knew anything
Okay.
from there.
Do you have proficiency with investigation?
I do indeed, sir.
Okay, then in which case, roll me a charisma check, but with your proficiency bonus added on. So it's basically an investigation check, but with your charisma.
Okie dokie. Whoop. 26.
Wow. Okay, 26. All right. So as you begin to talk around and meet with people, you do quickly learn that stuff of that variety is pretty rare. It's a very isolated location of its own right, much less isolated from places like the coast. But that being said, as much as you find little information out for most of it, you do actually, you come to, we'll say that you pass by the Wayfinder's Rest and perhaps like take a moment in there, the tavern near the exchange. As you head in and talk to the barman that's at the bar at the time, he signposts you to a job posting board, and as you go up to it, you can see that there appears to be a notice on the board indicating people recruiting for the Ashland Hunters, and underneath it indicating that they work out of Blackgate. And the posting itself says something along the lines of, for those seeking fortune, treasure, and the chance to slay wild beasts, make sure to join up. And then it indicates that that recruiters will be at the city probably around early spring, which at the moment you're kind of in the latter part of winter. It's dawning now, and Thor is the first month of spring, which is, I think, in around just about 10 days. 1.5, 10 days, sorry, is the beginning of Thor. I am wrong. It is Thor now, so it is still 1.5 months until they're likely to be here in that sort of early spring.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, which I'll get you the actual date, the actual month now. So that will be first seed.
Oh, like first seed.
First seed, yeah.
Okay. From the tavern, I'd like to buy a bottle of something from Deep Bay for each basket, like a wine or a spirit or something.
Absolutely. Okay. So from the tavern, let's see what we can get you. Just a single bottle or one for per basket?
4 bottles total.
Okay. 4 of each, like 4 bottles of a wine, did you say, and 4 bottles of something else?
No.
Or...
Just 1 bottle for each basket.
Okay. And is that of like a wine or?
Yeah, whatever is like specific to Deep Bay itself.
Okay.
They have like a specific like drink that everyone loves or is made here.
Okay. Let's see.
Really trying to keep.
A lot of these drinks are actually imported. As you look through the menu, we'll say that there's a menu. You can see a lot of them are either imported from Stella Lapsa or from Verloom. But I mean, a lot of these places won't have ever tried elven drinks.
Okay.
So that may be a good alternative. Deep Bay does have some homebrew stuff, but it's kind of very like low level. A lot of the good stuff is imported. It's not this is a trading city rather than a producer of luxury goods.
Okay. Yeah, I'd get like a nice elven something like a wine or a spirit.
Okay. All right. So we'll say that you can buy a couple of bottles of Lapsian wine, which is a brand of fine wine imported from the Citadel, and as you're purchasing it, the barman will likely tell you that it's said to be the stuff that High-Elves drink, and as you kind of look at the bottle, you can see it's this clear, very aromatic liquid, which has a refreshing wash, you're told.
Fantastic. How much is that?
So 4 bottles of that. This is probably going to be costly. So buying that from the tavern is going to cost you about 50 gold.
I will mention
that they are very expensive.
This is for fantastic lords and ladies, the rulers of other kingdoms. This is a fantastic opportunity to get your name out.
All right, roll me a persuasion check. However, this is just a barman rather than the owner, so it's going to be a little difficult to convince him, but you can certainly give it a go. So a persuasion check.
Plus 10.
13, yeah.
Oh my lord.
Oh, plus 10. Plus 10.
I have a plus 10 on that.
Oh right, I thought you meant plus 10 on top of it. Yeah.
I'll roll a d4 from my for a skill.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's a failed skill check. 16.
It was a failed skill check. 16. Okay. I mean, he kind of looks at you and basically just says, "Look, I'd love to give you a deal on this, but I just work here. I don't want to get myself in trouble by my dish now. It's quite a lot of alcohol."
Oh, I understand. This stuff will gather dust on your shelves anyway.
Well, you know, if you want to talk to management down the line, I'm sure we could work something out.
No, it's fine. I'm not going to trouble you. I'll pay. I'll hand him what would you say, 50 gold?
50 gold, yeah. It's very expensive.
I've blown the budget.
This is like kind of mid-top shelf, really. So.
All right, that's cool. And then I think if I would continue kind of like asking around about Demon's Touch and stuff from there. But if nothing else turned up, I would just go around and buy a few more bits, like maybe some cheese or some meats and things, some charcuterie vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So if you go around and buy some other cheeses and other bits, let's say 15 gold for the rest.
That's exactly how much I have left. And also some baskets.
Is that all your money gone?
Some baskets to put them in.
Oh yeah, we'll say that. Yeah, we'll say that a lot of the basket, like maybe the meats come in the basket. You could get a deal on it. Let's say.
Yeah, that's all of my gold. I have 0 gold. I spent 80 gold.
Wow. Wow.
80 gold.
I mean, maybe it might have helped. So,
firing them up.
I
would make sure that
you forgot the butter.
Given the vibe of Deep Bay being like a bit of a melting pot, I would grab cheeses from as many different places as I can get and try and lean into that theming.
Okay. So Zuko doing his theming right now.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So as you collect
take it all back
the
to the
finishing
manor.
touches on that, you head back to the fortress and whatever happens there happens. So that's your first day, is spending the day basically doing all of that.
Fantastic.
All right. So let's move on then. So who would like to go next? I think Storm said he wanted to go second, so I'm gonna pull him up on that.
I go second. So I think the first, I'd gather up anyone who was wanting to take up some training.
I'm gonna go with him as well.
All right.
I thought I would.
Me too.
When you say arcane training, do you mean like training in use of magic or fighting magic?
A bit of both. It'll because you know the nature of Storm's magic as well. It would be swordplay.
Yeah, I'm down.
I think for a little bit, Kinsey will probably go.
Okay.
Perfect. I was thinking we go to the gates, see if there's anyone else who wants to train, and start heading towards the gates, where I know where the bulk of the guard are.
All right. Give me 1 second. So, we'll say that the bulk of the guard are probably going to be at the Hall of Order.
Probably head to the Hall of Order first.
As you head there, heading down, you arrive at that almost this massive building, and you can remember it having this domed top, central building. And as you head inside, we'll say that you meet with Law Visor Vanya Morozov, who had you arrested. So we'll say that you have a conversation with her about potentially working with some of the guard. You'll be informed that the majority of people here in the city do not practice magic. It is still a very rare thing to see. But they do have a division where people kind of know some basic stuff, and what I'm talking about is like maybe up to second level sort of.
Yeah, it's good enough.
spells.
Good enough.
But what are you trying to get out of this? I guess that's what I want to ask.
Ewan, we just want to know: do we get our Mulan training sequence? All right. Do we...
Yeah. This is purely. Honestly, it's purely for aesthetics. So I was hoping just to get some soldiers ready for training against the Illithid, like fighting against the Illithid in case they have to, especially ones that know magic, because
that's kind of why I went along, because I kind of wanted to see how they react to things like psionic whispers and potentially using illusions of Illithids and things like that to kind of make it a little bit more realistic.
Yeah, to desensitize them a little bit as well. I want to show them some Illithid.
Some of the wisdom that Luna gave to us.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to say that as you go through the period of time training with them, having a much more experienced magic user who also uses a lot of martial in their attacks is very beneficial for them. I'm not gonna require a roll here. But what I'll say is, as you go through that day, combined with the desensitizing to what they look like and maybe some of their intrusive elements, they certainly have a newfound understanding of the threat that is looming and what could potentially befall the city. So I have made note that you have spent a day training with them.
Yeah.
If that comes into practice, we'll see at a later date. But we'll say that first day you've spent doing that stuff and training them. If you want to do your sending stuff now, I mean, it's only a very short thing.
I'll do the sending stuff now, actually, just to make sure we got that done.
Yeah,
while I'm with,
when you do that.
yeah, I was about to say, while I'm with Aria, I'd like to do Jala first.
Alright. I'd like to do Jala.
Shut up.
I'm right here, bitch. I'm right next to you.
Jala, God. Wondering if you're well. Can you please give us an update? Thinking of moving to Rajasthan in next few days. I said that. Yeah, I don't know what else really to ask her. Just want to get an update.
You do get a response. Already here at Rajasthan. Rescued some friends. It was heavily guarded, but the army's gone. I think they're beginning their first move.
Right, I'd relay this to the others around me. Sounds like their army's not there anymore. She's managed to rescue some survivors from Rajasthan.
Does she know whereabouts Rajasthan is in terms of surface?
I can ask her this, yes. Let's find out.
She does.
I think you may have already been told by her that she doesn't, because she doesn't know the layout underneath directly.
Can you send? Probably not, but can you send images like what someone's seeing through a message?
I don't think it specifies that. I think it's purely just text.
I mean, we in the vision we saw what was essentially a barracks. That is what Rajasthan was, right? That's where they restored the forces.
Have we confirmed that was Rajasthan?
Well, it would make sense if it was.
If so, we know where it is. Didn't you say it had some connection to the clanlands? Like it was around this area?
But that might not be where the elder brain is. I don't know how the hives are laid out.
But it doesn't matter. That might mean we have at least a place to go. If we want to go to Rajasthan, we know what kind of area to go.
Yes, I think
Imagine if the elder brain was directly below us this whole time.
Don't even go there.
I just wanted. I'm playing a game here. I'm watching Ewan's reaction.
No spoilers.
It wasn't, but it is now.
Yes, I see what you're saying. Yes, it is a place that we could go to start looking for the elder brain. But hopefully, in this meeting, we can maybe coax that information out of Aranon.
I will reply to Jara again to see what her next move is. Glad you're safe and found allies. Which direction, perhaps, you can glean they went? If not, it's fine. Stay safe, friend. We'll be in touch. Sana.
They were gone when we arrived. Expected a lot more resistance, but was surprised. Now it's made up of illicit. And that is the response.
Interesting.
What level were you casting those at, by the way, Jay?
Oh, just the third, yes. I think it was 2. I'm going to use one more. Have I got one more third?
You got one more third left, yeah.
Yeah, this is what I'll use for the Unhallowed.
Alright. Are you messaging the man whose name we all
Yeah, that name, the one that I never forget. Stelbor. Not Streg. Stelbor.
Lana Del Rey.
I'll contact Stelbor now. Stelbor, it's Storm. I can't remember last time we spoke. Wondering if you have an update on what your superiors have decided. I think that's like 23.
Alright, cool. You do get a response. Good news. Debates lasted a week. Some of the school leaders claimed that unless we were being paid, there was no point. Others felt it would be best to move operations east, let things play out. But a vocal group convinced the others this is what we were bred for. No coin for dead men.
This is good news. This is good news.
That is it.
I'll relay that back to the others as well.
That's great. It's great stuff.
Where should we ask them to? I guess we don't know where to advise them to move.
We should save that message for after the meeting once we have more of a plan.
Yes.
Okay.
They've said that you say they don't want coin anymore, but I mean they may well get some.
This is a small army of monster hunters. They're literally designed. They're trained to, be good at hunting monsters. Yes, which includes me apparently.
Yes, which we will get to the bottom of this. We can perhaps after
this.
This.
Not the priority at the moment, but yes, thank you.
Yes, after this we may be able to get an idea and put that contract out on you.
I'm very curious.
Okay, so yes, after we find out what the deal is with Foy Fort, we can see where we can station them.
Yes. Well, that
Excellent.
sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think that's all the downtime things I can think of that I'd want to do.
All right. So, who'd like to go next?
I guess it'll be me if everyone's going to the trading
All right.
storm. Why is Gaiak about?
I mean, Gaia, I am gonna go off and do something, but I guess you can kind of catch him as he's leaving.
Yeah, I'll actually not. I want to do it later in the day, so you can do your thing if you want to do something first. Or if anyone else wants to do something.
Yeah, we'll go to Guy.
Okay, so I think just remind me how many days we have. Sorry.
You're muted.
Oh, weird. There's today, then tomorrow the Foy-Fortian ambassador arrives, and then the third day is Cecilia supposedly arriving. So you technically have 3 days, though there will be interruptions in the second one, and the third one is likely to end with this negotiation or whatever is going to happen.
Okay, so I should do this today then. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go find that like foresty area that I've been to before. Kind of find a little area, little clearing area that I can kind of be alone in. And so what I'm gonna do is I kind of like grow some poppies and like remove the petals and find some kind of like sort of dried leaves and turn them, like shred them into sort of like a a tea leaf sort of texture, you know, inside tea bags. Collect that up into like a little pile. Lay out like my cloak down on the floor, and I'm gonna do a sort of like ritual from Gaiak's home that he's seen like performed like many times. So he uses produce flame to kind of set the little pile of leaves and poppy feathers alight, kind of fans out the flame so it's just smoking, and he plucks a feather from his wing and kind of allows it to kind of wave in the smoke, and he closes his eyes and kind of just listens to the wind moving through the trees and the sounds of like the nature around him, and tries to kind of like connect to the sky, if that makes sense. And he'll just meditate with that.
Alright. So you begin that meditation. Are you doing that throughout the day?
Yeah, I think he'll kind of like try and for just as long as possible.
Alright. As you begin, it's a little weird at first, though you have been doing a lot of meditation. But eventually it becomes more comfortable. As time goes on, and the morning passes to midday to afternoon, you begin to feel more connected with the air around you. You can hear the storms coming and going, the rainfall that appears and then disappears. The weather is very strong here, and it's very easy to get connected to it when it's so visceral and in your face. And as you look at the stormy skies, it's almost like you leave your body. You're not having an out-of-body experience, but you are feeling yourself drift, as if you've kind of begun to have some sort of vivid vision, and suddenly you're above the clouds, you're flying across the clouds, and you look down to see the strong grey beneath you. As you begin to dip through it, your beak carving a way through. You can't see yourself as you look around. The cloud here is just so thick, and every so often there's a flash of lightning and the sound of thunder around you as eventually whoosh, you appear from beneath the clouds. And you can see the land beneath you, forest and plains. And you course across the sky. And as you look this time, you glance either side, and it's not you. Instead, you see these plumes of white feathers. And as you look down, you begin to focus in on the land below you. And you see the animals, the nature of Val'Aeria there. And it's almost like you're an observer, watching, caring from above. Like a deity. Like a caretaker. Like a warden. And you begin to feel this affinity as you see a boar scurry beneath some trees, nestling through the underbrush looking for worms and food. An elk outrunning a wolf as the pack begins to encroach upon it. And as they get close and almost attack, there's a moment where you're no longer in the sky, you are on the land, and you are the elk as you run and gallop across the plains. And now you're in control as you feel the fear of of death coming for you. And as you jump, scurry through the underbrush, eventually you seem to outrun them, and they disappear behind you. But then you are back in the sky once again as you soar across, and other birds begin to flock around you. And now you are a vulture, a pigeon, a raven. All these birds in the sky you seem to dart between. And every animal that you see, it's like the passing of your spirit between them. And eventually the vision comes to an end as you become a raven that swoops over the top of Deep Bay, and you see yourself sat in that grove. And as you open your eyes, there is this newfound connection. Something much more base and natural and druidic within you.
Okay. I think... I think I am just gonna kind of like embrace this kind of like newfound sort of connection and just sit there and try to like breathe and kind of hold my like druidic sort of connection to the weave, and just kind of like sit in that sort of like feeling until the sun begins to set.
Right. Yeah, you sit in that feeling, that sense of connection, something new. And eventually, as you open your eyes, you get a sense of time, how much time has passed. And the sun is beginning to set. You can see the light beginning to dim behind the clouds as it heads over the mountains.
I'll kind of very slowly stand up and kind of become accustomed to my surroundings and pick up my cloak, kind of dust it off. I assume that pile was completely burnt. Hopefully it hasn't burnt a hole in the cloak. And I'll begin to leave. Begin to go back to the fortress or our manor.
Alright. You head back there. Alistair, you wanted to do something?
Yeah, I'll wait until Gaiac comes back.
Okay. We'll say that you hear like the sound of like something hitting one of the upper levels, and you recognise that to likely be Gaiac returning and probably heading in through the windows upstairs, as seems to be a very common thing for him now.
Yeah, I go up to what I assume is like his room that he stays in, like just knock on the door.
You hear a little like scuttling. Maybe he was halfway through the window when you knocked. And he kind of comes and opens the door. And for the first time in a long time, he's kind of not wearing the armor. The armor is just kind of sat against the wall. It's the first time you've kind of seen his like full kind of plumage in a very long time.
Do you mind if I have a chat?
No, of course.
May I come in?
Yes, yes. He steps to the side and kind of lets you pass.
Yeah, so how's magic learning going?
Actually, very well. After my discussion with you, I feel like I finally understand it a little bit more.
I have something to give to you. Then I sort of just rustle around in my bag and I hand you a letter. What we're planning to do, it's dangerous, and there's no like plan of what I think is going to happen, but if I do not make it, this is a letter I want you to read to Ferra Carta.
Alistair, I will not let you die.
Oh no, I'm don't worry, I'm not planning to die, but if the worst is to happen, I want you to have it.
I will promise you this if you promise me that the worst won't happen.
Well, I'm not planning on letting any of you die. Especially you. You're the first person I've actually been able to bring back to life. So if you die, my life work is kind of.
I guess, yes, I am the success story.
The reason I want you to read it is, well, one, I trust you not to open it while I'm alive. I can't trust Aria, Aradale, or Zuko to do that. Secondly, my whole life, the one thing I've wanted is not to be noble in a way, to be normal. To have a normal life, a normal family, connect with those normal people. I've tried to, but because of my upbringing, I can't. However, wherever we go, you're able to just talk to them like you're equal. If you're able to connect with them, care for them, they let you in their home and you become a part of their family, no matter however short it might be. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if the worst is to happen, and I promise you I'll try and not let it be, that's. But I want my words to be read by someone who can connect with the people that I cannot. I think that would be very fitting.
It means a lot that you trust me to do this.
And if I do survive, I'll let you burn it. If that'll make you feel better.
I guess it's better that it's destroyed than it just tempts me for the rest of my days. But I think you need to give yourself more credit, Alistair.
Well, hopefully this thing will work out. Hasn't really worked out for me yet, in anything that I've tried to do.
You have, as I said, done more than you have given yourself credit for. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and I feel like I haven't actually thanked you properly for that.
What?
Hmm?
For what?
for
Thank you for
bringing me back to life. I was a corpse.
I feel like you need to thank Ara and Aradale for that. So I was able to create the connection, but they were the ones that were able to bring you back.
Without the connection, it wouldn't have been at all possible. It was you.
Yes. I guess it's somewhere in the middle then. I'll take some credit for it then.
Well, I very much look forward to burning this someday.
I'll be there when you do.
I kind of like tuck it into kind of like the little belt, and guy kind of stands there for a second, kind of like looking like he wants to do something, but he's not sure. And then he just kind of goes for it, and he's gonna kind of like grab you and bring you in and give you a big hug with his wings wrapped around you.
He's sort of taken it back a bit, and then he sort of just goes, "Yeah, your feathers are very soft. I really realized that before."
Yes, I do take much pride in them.
Right, I guess I'll go and do something else. I'm not good at leaving conversations.
No, I understand. Usually that's why wings are helpful. I can just fly away and never have to think about it. But
Speaking of that, there's something to show you. And as I leave, I walk towards the window, go up to it, take a step out and cast fly. You see how there's a drop and then fly back up.
for a
I finally learned to
second,
do it.
for a second, he's like, "Fuck!" He's had it. He's had enough. And you see Gaiak, as you kind of fly back up, you see Gaiak just passing you with this like look in his eye, like, the fuck is happening?
That's just there, like, had so much fun on the water island, I thought I might as well learn it. And you can see he's very wobbly, like he's a toddler just learning to walk.
He kind of, I'm gonna
He's sort of just there.
fly up next to you and kind of grip you by each of your hands and kind of like teach a toddler how to walk. I kind of trying to get you comfortable with the feeling of being in the air. And then when you kind of get a little bit more comfortable with it, he just like flings you in the air just to like kind of give you a
Like a
start.
silverback.
Yeah.
And as he does that, he just sort of like bids you farewell and flies back down into where his room is.
All right.
Read out of that.
So as you have that little affair of flying in the air, Aria.
Yes. I would like to find Kensei during
Okay.
this downtime, wherever he may be.
As soon as she finds me, I would like to jump off a cliff.
Not two in one day, please.
And then fly back up.
Do you have fly or?
Okay.
Everyone's learned fly.
This is where I'm sorry. I must reveal to you I am superpowered actually.
My role in this group is diminishing very quickly.
To be honest, his health is so high, he probably still survived the fall.
I'm gonna choose to ignore that.
I mean, literally can only do 120 damage max, so
Still fine, really?
so it still wouldn't kill him. He could literally jump off. He could jump out of a plane, hit the ground full speed, and survive.
I'm gonna go for Kensei.
See, it was a joke.
Anyway,
now I
yeah.
want to test it out after you told me that.
Proof, please.
My balls.
Anyway, Ari, you go and find him. I mean, you'd be aware that he. Did you go to the training as well? All right, so yeah, I mean, you could do this after the training or during it
Yeah,
if you
that
want.
makes sense. Kensei, can I borrow you for a moment?
Sure.
As of late, my mind has kind of been all over the place. And I have lots of thoughts going on in my head, and I have lots of conflicting thoughts, and I was wondering if you knew of any techniques, or if I could if I could accompany you on maybe like a, like a training thing, like a walkthrough of maybe your sword senses, something that might, I don't know, help quiet my mind. Do you have anything like that?
Well, we could always try another one of my guided meditations. I did do a bit with Gaia and Aranon.
Okay. I know, I saw that you did that with Gaia, but it might help. I don't know, it could help me quiet my mind a bit.
Fair enough. We might need to find somewhere a little more quiet.
Okay. Wait, I've lost it. Where's it gone? If we go back to the estate, I want to go into one of these rooms. I want to go.
In a meditation room.
What's a good room? Well, let's just use the gala room. Fuck it. The big room.
Alright, it is a very large room. The tiles in here are cracked, just so you know. Like it's in disrepair.
But it's just nice to be in a lots of space, but we're like right in the middle.
Alright, yeah. In which case, and once the trading is over, you head back to the to the manor. Sorry, the fucking fortress. Jeez. As you get back to the fortress, I mean, you can see Gaia canals are flying in the sky.
I'm going to choose to ignore that.
Doing something.
You say they see the bit where I just throw him through the
Me
air.
and you back, you keep to Alistair.
Whoa!
I'm literally picturing the scene from Peter Pan, like.
Yeah.
It's just like, I can fly.
But you head up to the gala room, where it's quiet.
This will do nicely. I start just clearing like furniture or any furniture away, like tables or anything, just to give us like a bit of space.
I want to use mending to repair like a few of the tiles, not all of them, just a few that are like we're working on.
There we go. And yeah, I'll just sat down. So we go.
Excited.
Generally speaking, how I guided Gaia through it was it's easier to pull from memory, so to speak. But imagine a place where you felt serene or calm in your past, and then try to reconstruct that time like a painter, so to speak, or a book.
Okay.
Breathe deep. And picture that place, that moment in time. Do you have one?
Mm-hmm.
No. There is no rush. Piece by piece, put it back together. Do you see it?
Hmm?
What do you see?
I'm on a rooftop
Hmm.
overlooking the theater back in Ravenwood. I'm watching them rehearse for a performance.
As she talks about this, I'm just gonna kind of like fade out, like not fade out physically, but like just kind of trail off my voice and just to let her get absorbed into the memory, so as not to distract her. I don't know if she sees anything else or anything, but
It's nighttime, but it's during the summer, so it's not too hot, not too cold. That's the first time I ever saw Tamlin. That's when I first saw him.
again, like Kensei's voice is kind of just become non-existent at this point, even if he had been saying stuff to her, because he's just letting her get absorbed in it. Now, I imagine any voices she hears from then on would be from the memory she's conjured up.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see?
So, yeah, so the memory is, this is like, she was a little bit younger, and this is like one of the first few nights that she started to sneak out and, you know, start venturing out and honing her skills. And so she went onto the rooftop, which overlooked the theatre, and that's where she first saw Tamlin. And they were doing a very dramatic scene. And she was just so enraptured by his performance, and like it was the first time she'd ever seen in like a play, you know, let alone this person. And she's just so captivated by everything and captivated by him. And that's like kind of like the first time she ever experienced like falling in love with someone.
You sit in that memory and let it wash over you and relive it, feeling like you're there. Eventually, you breathe it away, and your mind is peaceful. Probably for the first time in a while. It's calm, it's nice, it's very centered.
And I'll let her come back from it when she wishes.
I have not thought about that time for a long time.
It was
For a
good.
long way.
It was good for you, though. Yes.
Very pure. Very innocent.
It's a good way to clear your mind, but it is just a memory at the end of the day. All the things that affect our world happen when we're awake.
But I can use this if I feel troubled again.
It doesn't have to be the same memory. It's, I guess the closest translation in common would be Mind Palace.
It's nice. I like that. Despite the upbringing that I had, it was very turbulent. I do have some nice memories in there. I hope to make a lot more.
Sorry, my mic went all over the shop there. I only caught the ending of that. Say that again.
I hope to make a lot more.
No, before that, sorry.
God, I can't remember what I said now. My life was turbulent, but I do have some nice memories from my childhood and older.
We all have at least one at some point.
We will help you, Kensei. I swear it.
I appreciate the thought. I do. But it is not something that can be fixed.
We know how to.
It isn't as simple as that. I know you think it is. That all we have to do is slay someone, and that's it. But I wish I had the words. I wish I had the words.
Thank you for this. I really do appreciate it. And I know that you've become kind of the the sort of what is it? Like an agony aunt for the group.
And why is the aunt in agony? I don't understand.
You know, I've never really understood that saying. Yes, I mean, why?
That seems like a very poor way to treat your aunt.
It's probably because people are in agony.
Is this a mainlander saying? That
I've
seems
never
very morbid.
understood it myself. Don't worry about it. But I'm sure that you have your own troubles as well, and I know that you can't really talk about them. But please know that we are here for you, and if you ever do need help, just reach out your hand.
That I will do. If you really... It's very strange to talk about your problems to someone else, but if you must, you can always ask Aradel about, or Gaia for that matter, about what they saw.
All right. Do you mind watching me do a bit more Parisian? There's this symbol that I keep getting wrong. Like I keep wanting to say like you look pretty, but then I call someone a fish, and I don't know. I don't want to call people fishes when I go to the Pearl Isles.
Yes, I noticed that you experimented on that with some of the locals. That wasn't very good.
Yes, I think it needs.
I think you were
maybe
trying
it's the way I'm saying it. I don't know.
Which is a bit odd because you were trying to insult that one dock worker, but you called him a fish, which I don't know if he would still take that as an insult or.
I mean, he was a dock worker next to the water, fish. I was in the right area.
Sure.
But yes, please help me. I need to get this right.
Yes, your cursive writing is terrible. Let's go on that.
As Kensei begins to chastise you for your scripture inadequacies, we'll say that the evening comes to a close, as you will inevitably find your way back to the fortress, and with an evening of rest, we'll take our break as the next day comes. Alright, so I know it's a little late, so we're going to do a 10-minute, try and be back at 20 past.
Before we go,
so
I do want
yes?
to check something because before we advance to the next day,
Okay.
I would probably help. I just want to check something real quick. This is Alistair, but I'll have to ask Alistair because you'll probably know. Your commune thing, has that recharged yet?
It's the end of every. I can use it without it being the end of every month.
No, you have to use it
Well,
on
I have
a
to wait.
specific
I have
day.
to wait.
Yeah.
Is it the end of the month? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is the end of the month.
That's not
I think I
recharged.
need to double check that.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, never mind then.
I mean, if you want to ask, it might be soon. If you want to ask him something, you can.
Nah, he would save it until the actual day.
Okay, fair.
Alright. So, I'll take 10 minutes and then we will be back for the next day. I think the next couple of days are going to be a little bit quicker because that seemed to be the bulk of it.
Yeah.
And I do want to try and get through some of the stuff today. So, we will see you very shortly. Hello, welcome back.
Shit with that.
So, why is the music so quiet? It's all good. Here we go. So before the break and where we left off, you guys had a day of downtime, having returned to Deep Bay with Aranon. You did some personal things, and the day eventually came to a conclusion. You also had a discussion about what would happen at the meeting and what you were going to talk about, and everything important about that. So, you went to sleep that night, and now you're awake once again on a fresh new day. This is the day that you're expecting the ambassador to presumably arrive. So you do have a little bit of time. So is there anything that you want to do as downtime activities, like things that we don't need to necessarily go through as role playing, but anything you want to kind of do, such as, you know, are you wanting to learn the language and spending a day on that? Yep. So we'll just go quick fire round. I don't know if anyone's thought about this, but I'll tell you what. I'll open it up. So Aria, what would you like to do?
I will spend that day, if we're not doing anything, just hunkering down and practicing my Perlesian and practicing my character work for Belinda in case we need it.
All right. So you can mark down that you've got another day learnt of Perlesian. Is there anyone else that wants to do something with this day?
I will prepare the most fantastic gift baskets I can.
All right. You begin to prepare the gift basket.
I want to sort of just like practice some magic and stuff, but I'll do it in the house because of obviously, you know, what's going on, and we might have to go do some shit. There is something a little bit more specific that I want to do that might lead into some roleplay, depending. It might not, but I can do that after.
Well, you might as well let me know what it is.
Okay. So when I wake up in the morning, you know, while I'm first waking up, I'm just gonna be kind of like, you know, laying down, thinking about what happened the previous day, and sort of going through it in my mind. And you know when you're laying down in bed and you're thinking about something specific, and then your subconscious takes the reins and drifts off, and then you catch yourself, and you're like, how did I go from thinking about if Mewtwo's tail is his dick to a skeleton playing a piano?
Okay, well...
And
I feel like this has come from real life experience.
Yeah.
And kind of, yeah, his mind starts to drift, and he kind of goes into that state of kind of remembering sort of that experience of being like, kind of seeing through the different animals' eyes, and like, and as I'm kind of laying there, I am going to wild shape into a boar.
Oh
no!
Not the fucking balls.
His
anything but the fucking balls.
His body
balls
just
are banned.
starts to glow
banned
with this like bright green, kind of greeny light with this white hue, and his form just shrinks into this boar that's just kind of like rummaging through the sheets trying to get out of the bed, and eventually just jumps out. And I guess I'm just gonna go for a little explore through the house as a boar.
Alright, so yeah, I think that's a good place to see what the fuck goes on there. So as you guys are waking up, there's a sound of like plodding throughout the halls of the house as you may take a look and see a boar making its way through the house.
Oh god, kill it! Kill it! Kill it! We need food! Kill it!
I'm gonna charge at Aradel.
Alistair just opens his door, see what's going on, and she goes, nope, and he just closes his door again.
I mean, would we know? Or would we have to do some deducing?
I mean, he's never done this before.
I'm gonna do detect magic, Eldritch Sight. On this, I don't know.
I mean, you see, I guess a magical boar. Transmutation, I suppose.
What's going on in my head? Am I aware, or am I just, I'm a boar?
Alright, so you have the mental capacity of yourself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you.
It's not like polymorph. So I'd say you're able to understand the language, but you can't communicate with them.
Okay, I kind of run up to Aria, kind of like starts like sniffing around her legs, and then look up at her and just
Shake your head if you're Gaiac. Okay. All right. Go and find a potion shop, you rascal. It's pretty good, by the way. It's a very good boar.
I'm gonna kind of sit down next to her and just kind of like gently rub the top of my head on her leg.
I give him the tummy scritches. Oh, you good boy.
They both hexes him, apparently.
Is this
Apparently so.
Is this the first time you're doing this? Ah. Give me a twirl, come on, give me a spin.
Kind of very sassily like stand up and do like a very like sassy turn the whole way around.
Reminds me of boar spit roasting on a fire.
Okay.
I just turn to Aranon, like my head angled down, and I like stomp my foot on the ground, and like very dramatically turn my head away from her.
I'm gonna just grab Gaiac and say, "Hey Gaiac, get her." And I point to everyone.
like rubbing my leg back on the floor, getting ready to charge, and I'm just gonna run at her as fast as I can.
Aranon is having a very
Headbutt her on the leg.
specific flashback right now.
Oh god.
Ewan knows what I'm talking about.
Roll for trauma.
Vietnam flashback.
Wait, is he big? Wait, how big is the boar? Is it quite a big boar?
I imagined it was like a small one, but I guess a boar is medium.
Can I sit on him?
It's like a very large dog, I guess. Like a Labrador-sized boar.
Oh,
Maybe a bit bigger.
No. I won't risk it then. Yeah, I won't risk it.
Wait,
Yeah,
Guy,
I'm gonna.
Could you do a little dance like that?
I kind of like stop charging towards Eridel, and I very slowly turn around at Zuko, and I give him like a look, like, "What the fuck, mate?" And then I do a little.
What the fuck, mate?
Nick judges you. You know you fucked up.
He's like a character from a book I read.
What
It's
was
like he says like Takuna Samata.
Oh no!
Something like that.
Oh no! Oh wait, I think I've read that one. Yeah,
Yes,
that's a good one. I like that
it means
Smash cut.
Super Smash Cut?
As you are having all these conversations, actually, no, it's not going to happen yet. Never mind.
Oh god.
It'll be later in the day. I'm just saying it's later in the day that things happen. So, this rather fascinating affair of events happens in the morning as you walk away from it at some point. Is there anything that anyone wants to use the downtime for?
Can Gaiac turn back?
Yes, he goes back naturally after an hour
You
until he wants to.
Like that forever.
Oh, well, I thought you were talking to me.
Sorry. I don't know what that was in character.
I was in character.
He's trapped like that forever.
Well, now he's no use to us. We might as well eat him.
Why do we always joke about eating Gaiac?
Use the bird.
If I'm still a boar at this point, he's just. God, this is.
Pigs actually would be very smart. We should give him a puzzle and see if we can solve it.
Not the pigs I've seen.
All right. So, I'm going to assume the rest of you have not got something very specific that you want to do.
No.
All right.
Just a bit of light ocarina playing and some sword play and some training, some new spells. That's it.
A training montage for ocarina music.
Yeah.
So, as the day goes on and you go about your individual affairs, around early afternoon, there is a knock at the door, at the very front door, and what I'll say is it wouldn't be the front door of the actual fortress building itself. It would probably be the walls on the outside. Someone probably calling over, which those of you that were training, most likely outside. Probably here. There is a a messenger awaiting you, and Theodore is asking for your presence at the castle, for they believe that the ambassador from Foyfort has just arrived.
Cool, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay,
All right.
I just need to finish wrapping. I'm like tying bows. I'm ready.
They are so
right.
good, Zuko. Well done.
Thank you.
Very
I
good.
tried my
So,
best.
I would say as you begin to make your way over towards the castle, you're beginning to make the path up towards the front where the portcullis is at the very front of the castle. And as you're about halfway up around the cliffside, you begin to hear this ding, 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 the loud bell ringing in this rhythm, which sounds like it's originating from down towards the market. And as you look down, though it's still foggy for the most part, it is a fairly cloudy day, as it usually is. You can see that the market is actually empty, as are the streets. There are no stalls. There are virtually no people in the streets. The only individuals you can see are these deep bay guards that seem to be cordoning off the main pathway that leads up towards the castle. And in the middle of the bay, now with a better view, you can see that there are at least 7 galleons, these massive ships with near black wooden hulls and these red sails behind a yellow sun. And you can see as you get up towards the front of the castle that there appears to be a convoy making its way up from the bay. It appears like a retinue of soldiers in red and yellow armour surrounding a figure that seems to be wearing a red shirt and navy overcoat. You are looking at from quite a distance. You don't make out really any specifics, but you can see the defined colours in the streets. They do wear very bright colours. But as you get to the portcullis, which is now raised, you are ushered inside. So, are you going to head straight for Theodore?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so,
probably
yeah.
a good idea.
Just wanted to check if that's what you want to do. Alright. So, heading through the hallways up towards his office, you can see that there are people busy in action now throughout the castle. Servants and guards moving through at a swift speed to try and get things ready. Theodore, as you approach, the door is open to his office, and you can see he's like signing something off and handing it to a number of individuals and servants as they push past you out into the hall, apologising with a "sorry, my lord, my lady," and heading up through the castle. But seeing you all there in that waiting area in the room just before his office, Ferra Carta, please come in. Close the door after you, would you?
Let's go.
Alright, you head in, the door closes.
Go carrying the baskets. Nice.
Well, what is it you have there?
A gift offering of the best of DP I could find.
Very smart, very smart.
Thank you.
I'm assuming you have seen that our guests seem to have arrived.
Yes, in full force by the seams of things.
Yes, well, it isn't a surprise. Coming to a foreign nation, its capital, I would assume they would come with a retinue of soldiers.
It's a little over the top, isn't it?
Quite the contrary, I would say that it's rather normal. It's important for their ambassadors to be protected, especially if they are coming from sea. Raidings and all that.
Yes.
Well, clean yourselves up. We've got, we have guests. He gives a bit of a smirk and he heads into one of the other rooms and shortly comes out in a much more elegant attire, a long overcoat as well, and a nice bow tie.
Ooh, do we still have those like smart clothes that we wore that
Well,
one
fancy
time?
clothes to go see someone, didn't
We have fine clothes of like suits and stuff that we were gonna wear.
Yeah, mine aren't
Maybe
gonna
do.
fit me anymore.
No.
Flex are just.
We also have these very demoted suits as well.
Sleeveless fine clothes.
It'll be a tight fit, but they might do enough.
Yeah, I think.
It might be very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
if you
I
get into a
put
fight
my
though, Aranon, I
dress.
will give you disadvantage
You
if
have
you're
to breathe
wearing
in
them.
the
I'm gonna
whole
rip
time.
them if we get in a fight.
I'm always wearing my fine clothes.
Yeah, I'll wear my
I'll put my red dress
black
on.
gothic suit.
Yeah, I'm gonna make some more adjustments to mine with various tears and rips to make myself more comfortable. But I'll put it on.
Alright, so in the time that it takes them to get up, you get yourselves ready, or as ready as you can be. Shortly thereafter, you do hear a knock at the office door. Kind of brushes himself down a little bit and walks over, turns the handle and opens it up. A number of these guards, wearing full plate armour and again red and yellow colours on them, they stand aside to reveal an individual who's stood in the middle of them. This man with shoulder-length brown hair, pulled into a ponytail with two thick strands on either side. He wears a high-neck red shirt with a navy overcoat, and you can see the shirt open slightly to reveal an amulet depicting the symbol of Foyfort, a bright yellow sun, as he kind of steps forward from between the guards. Lord Theodore, I presume. I am Jean-Petre, ambassador of Foyfort, and granted permission to speak on behalf of His Holiness, Prophet King Tomasz I. Now, the honour is all mine. I presume your travel was safe and pleasant. My journey was long and wearisome. Whilst my business is urgent, I wish to rest. I take it my accommodations have been arranged. They have. A private room for yourself and space in our barracks for your soldiers. Apologies in advance if the arrangements are not to your liking. I received word of your arrival only 2 days ago. Must be a truly meaningful visit for the Prophet King to not await a response. His Highness does not require confirmation. But all in due time. Until then, I take my leave. Kind of glances over towards you guys and turns and begins to walk away. The guards close in around him again, and you can hear from beyond the hallway, kind sir, if you wouldn't mind following me. And the whole group seem to shift away. Theodore stands by the door, closes it. Brief. Very brief.
To the point.
He seems lovely.
Smoother than I expected,
Yes.
to be honest.
I do not trust him. It really is too much of a coincidence that as soon as an arrangement has been made for this alliance, that a 414 ambassador should arrive. I'm not sure what he expects to do or why he is here, but I certainly believe it's something to do with the alliance.
Are you suspecting that they have had spies?
I think it would be foolish to assume that not every nation has its espionage. We should be careful in our negotiations. Would like to think it is a show of good faith that they are here, but I think that we know things are not always what they seem.
hopefully they don't try anything when they have an ambassador here. Be very strange if they were to try anything like that.
Yes, I do agree. Best to keep an eye out, I think. Well, I apologize for requesting you to get into your fine garments. It was short, but
The impression was still made.
indeed.
Like,
And first impressions are very important.
Particularly, you didn't get to give him your basket.
Yes, I was thinking about that the whole time. I didn't know to get in there, or perhaps best to wait for the actual,
yes.
tomorrow. Or I could send it to his room.
Pretty good. You know, as like a welcome, you know, we know you're here. Here's a gift basket.
Could you have?
I can have it sent to his room.
Fantastic, yes, because there are some pastries in there. I wouldn't want them to be old, unedible.
I will have that sent. Well, that is why I requested you here, to be here for when he arrived. Word is that Cecilia will arrive tomorrow. We shall begin the negotiations, the meeting, likely in the later of the afternoon. Allow her to settle in a little.
Great.
So are we to go home?
What you do with your time is of no decision of mine, but that is all I requested of you.
So Cecilia is going to be here tomorrow afternoon?
Yes.
Okay.
Here, likely around the morning, I would assume. It would be good if you were here for that as well.
I was going...
But the meeting
Yes.
would be in the evening.
We were
Yes.
discussing... Oh, sorry, Aria, you go.
I was just going to say, as a kind of, you know, a representative from my family, I will be here to personally greet her.
Of course.
We would...
I would suggest you come not too late after dawn.
Okay.
then.
All right.
Sorry. We were discussing earlier in the day, actually yesterday, about Aranon's presence in the room.
Yes.
Yes.
Perhaps he could be bound and muzzled in some way so that he does not disrupt the peace.
A solution. However, I am a little apprehensive about engaging in a meeting with a bound and gagged individual in the room.
There would
It
certainly
does
be
not set
questions.
good precedent.
Mm.
That's true. It might freak, especially Cecilia, it might freak her out.
Perhaps introduce him later.
If he has something important to add to the conversation, I say he is brought in when required and exited when not needed.
Aradel, I have just had a thought. Could you not be in psychic whispers with him and request information when it's needed?
That's a good idea.
That way
Where
he
is
doesn't
he
need to
going to be, though?
sound.
Plus, I think the people present at the meeting may ask questions. If you're just staring at him for a good amount of time and then ask a question.
He could be in the prison.
Yes, he doesn't need to be in the room.
But won't they get a bit suspicious that you're the one delivering this information?
We can tell
I-
them that
yeah,
we've
we
had
don't-
information from him.
We also don't
I
have
will
to
be-
keep hidden that we are connected to him psionically.
I will be frank with you. I'm not sure how much of a difference it is going to make. He is an outsider, much some of yourselves. If you are not to be believed, why would they believe him?
True.
They do not have much information. Only between us do we truly recognize his true expertise on the matter, but other leaders say he is just another elf. Whether it comes from you or him, it would be... There is not a level of respect due to him that would not be due to yourselves.
If anything, we probably hold more sway in our word than him. Yes.
Luckily, we do already have a good amount of information from him.
Believe
Then it settles it then. We should keep him locked up and communicate with him when needed.
Agreed.
Anything else?
With
Alright.
that, I am going to make my way down to the prison now.
Okay. Alright, so if there's nothing else any of you want, he begins like immediately getting to work on some of the other things that he's preparing for the meeting. You are free to go and do whatever you wish to do with the rest of the day if there's downtime activities you want to do. Ari, I assume you go back to learning Parisian. I think you're probably going to need Kensei to be with you for this, so that kind of will sacrifice your downtime as well. If there's anything you want to do, Kensei, it's probably going to be...
Sorry, I cut out a bit there. What do they need me for?
So if Aria is learning Parisian, it basically takes up your downtime as well because she needs you there to learn it, basically.
I mean, yeah, I have nothing else I really want to do, so...
That's cool then. Perfect. Eridel, so in which case you go downstairs to the basement, you head down into the very dark area below. You can see Aranon is gagged and tied. There are guards there, different ones this time, but there are guards stationed down here watching over.
Can I just clarify something? Are we not
Yep.
using psionic whispers then? Or are we only using them when we, like, need to ask him a question?
Well, it lasts an hour, right?
It lasts,
Because it's different, isn't it? It's adapted to what it used to be.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Because you don't have the psionic die anymore, I don't think.
I
think we
do,
changed that.
it's just slightly different. The die is for how many times I can use psychic whispers.
Oh, that's not...
Oh yeah, it is up to an hour, yeah.
Yeah.
So would we not use it then? Just to be clear.
Well, you can use it a number of times, I believe, equal to your...
It's my proficiency plus my wisdom. Who farted?
Me.
It's just your... Yeah, that was wet. It is just your proficiency bonus.
Oh, just my proficiency. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, so that technically is like, what, 5 hours worth of it?
Yeah.
So, if you need to use it today, or whenever, you just gotta make sure you have those uses.
Yeah.
But it lasts an hour, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
up
cool.
to you.
Alright. You know what? I've kind of had a think about it. I'm gonna go down the prison steps, see him, and then I'm gonna turn back. I'm not gonna do what I was gonna.
Okay. So you're not gonna go and
No.
have whatever conversation. All right. So. In which case, then, I'm assuming that that without you guys not having anything else for the downtime, we'll kind of skip over the day, unless there's anything anyone wants to interject with to do before the day comes to a close.
I think Zuko would just window shop some furniture and dream about the estate that we could have one day. But with zero gold in his pocket.
You absolutely can window
That is
shop.
all he's going to do.
As another person with 0 gold, I'd like to do that as well.
we can go around
I
and
do it
dream about our
often.
home.
Yeah.
The next morning.
Oh, my mic
Arya-
wasn't.
You good?
Yes, I wanted to do something, but my mic wasn't working.
Oh, go on. What is it you wanted to do?
When, like, in the nighttime, I am gonna go and sit up on the roof when, like, the moon's out. And I think just, like, continuing this sort of, like, trying to reconnect, Gaik is gonna sit down on the roof and stare up at the moon, and is gonna sing this song to himself that was kind of like from his home. Don't worry, I'm not gonna start singing it.
I was gonna say, what
Sorry, drop me a beat.
What's on?
And he's got it's a song from his home that like particularly his like mother would sing to him about like this great eagle that protected them and guided them, and it's essentially a song about a Sifa and how she looks over them and will always protect them.
Nice. Give that a good belt from the top of your fortress.
Kayak, shut up! We're trying to...
It's in Oran as well, so I guess if anyone
would
does
get
hear it,
it.
Arya would understand.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you can understand it as you hear it. It's like when you hear. I mean, you guys probably will hear it. It sounds less of like someone standing there singing a song, and more of like it's almost like the wind, like the wind carries it, and it almost sounds like the whistle of a wind. But all the same, the song finished. Find yourself rest, and another evening comes and goes as morning greets you again to a bit of a drizzle today.
I will probably get up a little bit earlier than the rest because I would want to be there to go and greet Cecilia.
All
I'll
right.
put my red dress on again.
Is it just you going to see Cecilia? Cecilia's
You're welcome to
arriving?
join me, but I'm definitely going. Make sure
Oh,
I'm there.
can I in my
Yeah,
downtime? I'll make a few adjustments to the dress so it's a little bit more appropriate.
Sure.
She ain't never had
you
boobies
could spend the
before,
rest of the day
so-
doing that.
I would be there
That's
to
not a problem.
give the gift basket.
So Zuko's
Alright.
with me.
Zuko's coming. Arya is going.
I'll
Is
come
anyone
as
else
well.
going in the morning? Okay, Storm.
I don't think Gaik would wake up particularly early for any reason.
And now it's just
Alright.
thinking in.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
from
So, as you get to the castle bright and early, let me just make sure I've made note that it is next day. Alright, so, bright and early the next day, you head over to the castle as dawn begins to break. You spend a couple of hours there just waiting, and eventually you can see from one of the windows, we'll say there's like maybe like a mess hall or somewhere, or a reading room or somewhere that you could rest comfortably inside, away from the rain, but has a good view of the courtyard ahead. And through the glass you can see there is a sudden bright glow of blue light that flashes in the middle of the courtyard and then woof, fades away very quickly, and immediately, suddenly there, you see Cecilia arriving in the middle of the courtyard, Arilla by her side,
Ooh.
and a retinue of guards, and Marie.
Oh.
Yes, her little
Also
purple
among
dress.
them, familiar to some of you, is Conroy McKeer, who you met, also accused of blowing up the ship in Porta Minor, is actually the ambassador of David that is stationed in Queen Cecilia's court. He is there with her.
Not him.
And they all kind of like arrive, and you can see a couple of guards coming down, and you hear Theodore's voice. Your Majesty, it's good to see you. As you see him kind of walk into the courtyard. What would you like to do?
Just as when I see Cecilia approaching, I'll curtsy and
Give it a bow.
envelop
Alright, so you
me.
head out into it's still raining, so you get a
Okay.
little bit damp as you come out.
Well, wherever the meeting room is, I will curtsy as I see her approach, and in Verlamese, I'll say, "Welcome to Deep Bay, Your Highness, or Your Majesty."
Storm awkwardly tries to replicate this as well.
Okay.
I'll-
What, the Verlamese?
Yeah, not in Burmese. No, the curtsy from when we had to learn.
Oh,
how
I
to
was
curtsy.
gonna say.
Not the Burmese. No.
I'll give it
So
a
you
bow.
go there with a gift
Yeah,
basket.
I'm holding the gift basket, and I'll look for the closest servant, hand it to them.
There's actually no servants with her. They're all guards, but I mean you could hand it to one of them.
I'll hand it to
There's not
someone
enough
that's
people
not
to hand
Cecilia.
it to.
In Verlamese, I'll say, "Please take
Sure.
this as a token of welcome."
And then give it a bow.
Thank you for your gift. It is much appreciated. It is wet.
Please come in.
And she begins to head inside. This way, if you will, Your Majesty. As Theodore begins to lead her inside. Who's there again?
Me.
Zuko, Arya,
Storm.
and Storm.
Can I ask someone quickly? Did I hear right that they teleported?
It was you and Gaiak,
Yes.
wasn't it? It
Yeah,
was you and Gaiak,
yeah. So he would recognise me. I don't think he's seen many tabaxi.
Wait, what was?
Yeah, he would recognise you. I'm going to send you some photos of
The guy from David, the
guys.
dickhead ambassador that we went to question.
Oh.
Is this the guy who you got imprisoned?
No, we didn't get him imprisoned. We went to him, and he was so rude to just. We looked through his, wanted to look through his ledger or something, or like
Yeah.
follow up on why.
So that is from top to bottom. This is on the Discord, so if you guys want to see what's going on, check out the Discord. From top to bottom is the 4014 Ambassador Jean-Piet, Queen Cecilia, obviously, then that's kind of a given, and then Conroy McKeer, who is the David Ambassador.
I always imagined he was fat.
Oh no, he's a fairly handsome man.
Hey, yo, Conroy.
As he walks past though, he
Not
looks
gonna lie,
towards
that
you,
French
Storm.
dude is looking kind of.
I know, it's definitely your type, because he probably sounds like he looks like he's mean.
He looks like not giraffe.
Oh.
Don't even have a surprise, girl.
As
You're all going to
Mikhail
hold it
walks past, he looks towards you, Storm. Oh, we meet again, it seems.
Roy. Glad you could make
What's
it.
your name again?
I didn't expect you to remember. I am.
You're right. You're not quite important enough for me to remember.
This fucking guy.
Will be.
Everyone from David and
remembering that.
Sam loves the
Picture of
whole
this guy
grudge.
next to the
I love holding grudges
I've never
against D&D characters.
This is my toxic trait.
Yeah. Holding grudges against Ewan's NPCs.
Holding grudges against aspects of Ewan's personality.
Can I ask someone though? Did I hear that they teleported in?
They
Yep,
did.
Arilla.
They did. Yep, they teleported.
Wow.
Arilla teleported them in.
Oh,
Okay.
She's
I'll
with
give-
them.
I would give Arilla her basket as well.
And I would give her a
Yes,
friendly wave.
Arya kind of got you to hand it off to one of the guards. Anyway, he will have finished that conversation and head inside.
I would introduce
along
myself
with the
as
guards.
well. We haven't met before. I am Prince Zuko.
Who are you introducing yourself
To this Conroy guy as they
Okay.
pass.
Just walks on.
See you later.
Alright, so the rest of the meeting people appear to have arrived. You've got a couple of hours, do you think? The rest of you eventually will wake up. And in due course, evening begins to encroach, or later afternoon as the sun wanes again, as you believe the meeting to be coming up quickly. Is there anything you want to do? Last chance before the meeting begins.
I want to put poison in Conroy's basket.
Didn't we even make him one?
I wanna find a dictionary and see if there's a picture of him next to the word "can't."
Everyone from Dayford is just a bit of a dickhead.
No, so he's not.
It would seem so.
Is he here on behalf of Dayford then?
I think so.
He's Dayford's representative in Berlin.
So I guess I would give the fourth one to him then.
Conroy.
Would
I mean, he's already gone now.
I would
Would I
send it to
know?
his room.
Would I know that Conroy is there? Would I have been told at some point during the day? Anyone?
Up to you guys.
You'll see him. At the
Anyone?
meeting.
If we
No,
had
but do I
all
know before
reconvened, then I would have said, "Oh, they arrived." Conroy and Queen Cecilia,
Okay. As
so that everyone's on the same page.
As a gesture of goodwill, I am going to make a nice stew, but I am gonna season it with bugs that not even I would eat. As a gesture of goodwill, specifically for Conroy.
Yikes.
You really want yourselves to fail, don't you?
Kayak.
You see,
No.
you see him cooking this. He said he's gonna make it as a gesture of goodwill, and you see him like pulling out. He has like this like weird little like worm thing, and he like pulls it out
Been
of his
saving
bag.
it for a while.
Yeah, he like gags, he's like, and
Kayak.
starts like putting it into the. Yes,
No. We need them to like us.
but please.
Not today.
Normally I would say have at it, but today was strange.
Today is not that day.
Kayak,
Guy,
just to be like the devil's advocate here, fucking go for it. Just do what you want. Man.
Zuko.
I mean,
how about we have some middle
Kayak,
ground?
you hear like a tapping on the window, and you see a small bird at the window. It's just kind of tapping on the window, like.
but I'll go over to it and I'll open the window. I've still got the little worm in my hand.
As you open the window, you hear a very familiar voice. Just do it.
No.
No.
Zuko, if you let Kayak put this worm in the stew, it will undo all of your hard work from the gift basket.
As I hear that,
I'm not his father.
Hello.
I am gonna take this like it's one of my favorites. This one, I'm gonna take one of my favorite little grubs out, and it's still wiggling around alive, and I'm gonna feed it to the bird.
No, but actually, probably don't feed them this like horrible food.
It nabs the worm and swallows it whole, and then it just dies.
Oh,
That was
shit.
my-
That's got to be a bad omen.
That was
Oh no,
that's my favorite. What?
It's time.
Anyway, I think we should probably go to the meeting.
We need to.
Yes, the meeting,
Must
that
be
thing.
before we go in, Aradel.
Hmm?
Remember our promise.
You don't need to remind me. God, you sound like my mother.
Yes, let's fucking knock their socks off.
We got this. All right, hands in, Ferra Carta. Hands in.
Oh.
Go
Yeah.
team!
We
Go
got the
team!
toilet. And 1, 2, 3, win!
Woo!
So I'm just holding the dead bird.
Zuko and Arya are extroverts, and everyone else is introverts.
Oh, I gave Kayak trauma as a meme.
Isn't that what you do all the time?
Yeah, meme lord, trauma lord.
I'm gonna before we go, I'll just wrap him up into a little blanket to like bury him later, and I'll go and place him in my
Oh
room.
my god. I don't feel guilty actually. I should say feel guilty, but I don't. I'm glad I did it.
And
And I do it again.
in a strop, I'm gonna cast like thunder wave on the little stew pot and just then it's shooting everywhere. And I'm gonna...
It sprays everywhere. Everyone takes 20 fire damage as the boiling will... I'm memeing. Let's not do that.
I'll just look at Eridel in like a strop and be like, "You've changed." And then turn away and dramatically walk off.
Oh my goodness.
What is
Right, so
happening?
with that absolute madness out the way, you head back towards Castle Deepbay. The sun is low as you finally make it inside, and you are welcomed and expected, and taken up to a waiting room. This way you guys individually can await for the meeting to begin. You're only there for around half an hour, as you are called and led up through one of the towers. Now you remember being in this location before. This is where you had your meeting with Arilla, Jala, and Theodore as well. As you head up to this massive circular room with a round table in the middle and a balcony exterior that kind of looks out over the castle, as it is one of the highest towers, and over the city as well. And as you open the door and step through, you can see there are a couple of guards from both Cecilia and from Foyfort that are stationed in the room on their respective sides. But around this circular table, at the far end, opposite you, is Lord Theodore. Cecilia on one side. Slightly further down is Conroy for David, and then fairly isolated from the others is Jean-Petre, who is obviously from Foyfort. Additionally in the room is Arilla, who is kind of sat kind of in a space between them, trying to kind of I guess balance out the space. But there is a section area that is cut off for you specifically near Arilla. As you enter, Theodore stands from his chair, and you can see this time it was originally like this larger chair, but they clearly moved that out and brought in a copy of the other ones, so that it doesn't look like he's got some massive chair in this room. But he does stand up as you enter. Our final guests have arrived. Please take your seats.
Gonna sit.
Down.
Taking a seat.
Guests of honor, 'tis a sad occasion that brings us all together, a danger that looms over all of us. This discussion and meeting was a long time coming, and it has taken some brave souls to get us together to talk. Some of you are expected, others surprising guests, but welcome nonetheless. I would like to ask our guests, Ferra Carta, to lead us in this conversation. I know we all have concessions, issues to discuss, but today, this day, is the time to talk about them. Our survival relies on it. And as he sits down, he kind of gestures towards you, and that is where we're going to end the session. I think we've got a big meeting.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take.
We can't rush this.
It would be, yeah. I don't want to rush it. It would be right, like it would at the very. I think at the very least it'd be an hour.
Yeah.
And it would
you're
take
right,
us way
you're
over
right.
9. So I think it's a good place.
Something to look forward to. Plus, we can prep who the fuck,
Yeah,
like,
we can
what's
prep.
happening.
Yeah,
Gonna
yeah, we
say
can prep a little
who
more.
we're
Yeah,
gonna direct things to.
you have a whole week to.
Now that you know who those guests are, you would have been able to. Well, you'd have only a couple of hours to plan, but I'll give you it nonetheless.
I mean, I kind of liked those little moments we had today. They were nice and nice.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I'm
it was a
I'm
nice-
glad that we did it.
It was a nice session, kind of away from kind of all of this chaos, trying to do all of this stuff and
Yeah.
figure everything out, to just kind of have some downtime and do some fun.
Calm before the
Definitely.
storm.
Yes.
Make some gift baskets and invest in them.
The calm before the storm, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you, anyone that's been watching today. It's appreciated as always. Before we end, we're going to do our round of shout-outs. So, Mitch, you want to take it away?
Yeah, boy.
Monday nights.
Mondays, 7 p.m. BST/GMT, twitch.tv/Natural Wonders. Me, Ewan, Sam, Jay, and a couple of other buddies play Star Wars Edge of the Empire. It's a good time. We roll dice, we make a lot of jokes, probably too many, but it's a good time. Come and check us out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Link in the chat, baby. Back to you, Mr. Yuan.
Thank you very much, Mitch. Sam, do you want to talk about your thing?
Right then.
Sure thing.
Yeah, I'll do a little bit of streaming, upload a little bit of video to the internet. YouTube and Twitch, Sam JKP, Pokemon, Thaz, Mophobia, and yeah, a few bits and bobs. You get a lot more of
Can I
this
do an
nonsense
arcana to
if
see
you-
if I know what the
come and
magic
watch.
impact
Yeah.
would be as well?
I'm gonna, yeah, alright, next one.
Thank you for that. Maya?
I stream, yes, that is me, twitch.tv/Animea. I stream some Genshin Impact and some Hellblade when I get around to it, and also maybe on the odd occasion, Phasmophobia. Me and Sam are gonna fight every week to see who gets to stream it.
So normal then.
Alright, I hope you stream the fight.
Yeah, it's a boxing match actually.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sam is
You're
doing
Jay?
going to do that KSI Logan Paul thing where we just like,
Yeah.
Jay, do you want to talk about your
Me?
thing?
Oh yeah, I do limb-based stream games. Come on down for some streaming on the Muckwoods. I'll be playing when I get back. I'll probably be playing some games. I also got a little
really, take it easy.
project in the works, so you might see some creation on that on my channel. So yeah, come on down for a secret limb-based project.
Awesome. And then finally is our Discord for everything related to the stream, from updates about other games and anything, whether or not we stream a different day or a different time or whatever. That's a good place to do it. Maps and handouts and sometimes artwork that is some inspiration, such as today. That's where you can find out that stuff and see it in real time. So join it, please. For the love of God, join it. I think that's going to be us for today, though. So I guess we'll see you next week when we have this big old meeting. So until then, remember to stay dirty.
Yeah.